as we get into it.
What? Be so sinister. This is serious. What did I just see? What happened? I looked behind me after the credits rolled and it was a wasteland. I don't understand.
We were taken to another dimension.
Oh. Raymond.
Yes.
You're gonna go to war.
Those sons of bitches brought the war to us.
Hello! And welcome to the Parking Lot Projectionists podcast. My name is Andrew Irons.
And I am Raymond, not a hero.
You're much more.
A Raymond psychopath.
Psychopath?
Yeah.
Why?
Everybody's a psychopath in this film.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I ain't gonna deny it. Everyone's psychotic. This is twisted stuff, man. I don't know what to do. I think I need to go to an abuse shelter after this movie.
You probably do. An abuse shelter would be the thing you need.
I need someone to recover me, man.
Please
to tell me to show me some flowers, some bunnies, some babies, some
we
puppies.
Need help.
Apple pie, please.
Oh.
Oh. This week we saw Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This
is now PLP V Warner Brothers, Dawn of WTF.
Oh my
official
gosh.
title of this podcast.
What happened? What happened? Well, we'll start off with Raymond.
Oh, God, don't scream at me. Oh,
I'm sorry.
I didn't do it. Don't brand me, please.
The devil, he's stealing the building. It's in the projection booth.
Oh my God, get it out. Cleanse it.
You must delete the hard drive.
Immediately.
Raymond.
Yes.
What is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice about?
Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is a 2016 action adventure.
Adventure?
There seems to be more to it, but I can't scroll over.
Oh, there's a lot more to this movie.
This movie is about fearing the actions of Superman left unchecked. Batman takes on the Man of Steel while the world wrestles with what kind of hero it really needs. With Batman and Superman fighting each other, a new threat. I'm not reading this one. That was spoilers.
Yeah. That's like trailer number 2 spoilers
that
right
was
there.
Spoiler. It really listed. They only got 2 synopses and they long as hell. Batman won't fight Superman. That's all you need to know. This movie stars Ben Affleck, Harvey Keitel, Amy Adams, Jesse Eisenberg, Diane Lane, Lawrence Fishburne, Jeremy Irons, Holly Hunter, Gail Gadot, whatever,
Giselle,
Scott McNairy, Callan Mulvey, Tao Okamoto, Brandon Spink.
Whoa, what's your language?
Laura Cohan, she was the other Martha. Michael Shannon was in it as a dead body. I didn't even list Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's probably somewhere in there. He played Thomas Wayne.
Oh yeah, he's a
comedian from Watchmen.
Yeah. He had the same mustache and everything in this movie.
This is directed by Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Don't. This is written by Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer.
David S. Goyer has written a lot of Batman-related
He's written a lot
stuff?
of superhero things. Yeah, mainly Batman-related things. He's been part of Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, Man of Steel, and now Batman v Superman. He's also done... Apparently, he wrote the story for Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1.
In that order.
He wrote Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, The Unborn. He helped do Jumper, the Blade movies. He's been around for quite a few while. He's a man who knows about comic books, but for some reason he has just gone batshit crazy in his old age. 50 years old now.
The puns.
Oh yeah, batshit crazy. Yeah, so that's what this shit's about. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Bullshit. The movie. Guess we gotta walk y'all through this shit, huh? Y'all ready?
Raymond is staring at pictures of Gail Gadot right now. That's why he's drifting off at the moment.
I'm trying to figure out.
What are you trying to figure out?
What made them cast her as Wonder Woman? All right, this movie starts off with the ending of Man of Steel, but we're seeing it through the perspective of Bruce. No,
wow, you are jumping ahead, right?
I did jump ahead. This movie starts off.
We gotta kick this thing off properly.
The funeral of the Waynes.
It's a montage sequence.
But there's going back and forth with when his parents died. He was walking out of the theater. They just
died?
Yeah. Andrew. Everybody knows this story. I don't understand why we had to see this in the beginning of this movie. Okay, so it's a funeral.
Okay, so.
Bruce Wayne runs away from Jeremy Irons, falls into a hole.
Why is Jeremy Irons tasing Bruce Wayne?
Because he won't see his parents get buried into the cemetery.
Oh, okay.
But they're dead. You know they're dead because they're in the coffins. That's how you know they're dead.
Why was he running away? I was just being sarcastic because you didn't describe how the scene started. Why was he?
They were walking.
No, you didn't mention that he was at the gravestone. You just said he was running away from Jeremy Irons.
They were walking.
He's a pretty scary guy, though.
They were walking the parents in caskets to put them inside the crypt. And he just ran away, fell into a hole, and then he flashed back to the night his parents died, which was
1981.
They were having a good laugh
outside of a movie theater.
They watched, I guess it was The Mask of Zorro. They had the poster for that, but they had Excalibur. Oh, Excalibur was coming next week. That's what the sign said.
Oh, okay.
They was smiling, having a good time, and some guy walks up. Thomas Wayne, get a close-up of him clenching his fists. Charges up, takes a swing at the guy, and the guy shoots him. I guess that was Joe Chill. I hope. He falls to the ground, then Mama Wayne runs up to the guy. The guy slips his gun under her necklace for some reason, pulls the trigger for dramatic effect.
And then the hairpin of the trigger somehow breaks the pearls?
Yeah.
Whenever he fired the gun?
Because normally the guy grabs the pearls and pulls them off her neck, then she dies.
Ben Affleck is given this monologue about there was a time whenever things fell, whenever they fall, they fell. And there was leaves falling next to the Warner Brothers logo and stuff like that. And the parents were falling in slow motion to the ground as they died during the montage. And it kept cutting back to Bruce Wayne falling down that well to the Batcave in slow motion. So everything's falling. And then Bruce Wayne is at the bottom of the well. He looks up and there's a bunch of glowy bat eyes staring at him, and then they jump scare at him, and then they swarm around him just like in Batman Begins, but then they one-up it. The bats, he starts getting hover capabilities. There's a close-up shot.
They infected him with bat powers.
Yeah.
He starts floating.
There's just a shot of his feet lifting off the ground, and he's floating up the well with bats surrounding him.
Pull him out the well somehow.
Without touching him. They create a whirlwind tornado effect. They go so fast.
Defy gravity.
And fly him out there.
And fly him out the well.
I'm sure it's supposed to be symbolism, of course. But I was freaking out.
Sure, yeah. I think it's symbolism.
I was freaking out. You got to get used to these dreamy... You got to get used to this dreamy symbolism in this movie. Because Zack Snyder will just throw stuff at you and expect you to know that it's not real. It's I'm not assuming that this silly thing you're showing me is not real. I'm assuming that you're just this silly Zack Snyder until proven otherwise.
Yeah, I fucking hate Zack Snyder.
Whoa.
I really do. I can't stand him. He's a hack director. He just needs to go away. But okay, we'll save that for later.
Bruce Wayne gets taken up
lifted
out of the well, and then he says...
and higher.
And he says, I used to think that white light at the end of the well was something great, or whatever the fruit. But it wasn't. And then there's a pure white screen, and it says, such and such years later, the world's introduction to Superman.
18 months later. Oh, no. It was
18 months?
No.
Little Bruce Wayne.
18 months before? I don't know what it said. No, it said...
Probably 18
Metropolis.
years.
It said Metropolis. The world is introduced to Superman. We get a helicopter shot of a Wayne Enterprises helicopter coming down. Bruce Wayne jumps out before it touches the ground. Hops into a random car, pushes the guy out the way.
It's not a random car, sir.
What is it?
It's very important for this sequence, sir.
What is this car?
This is a Jeep.
Oh.
This is a Jeep commercial, sir.
The Jeep?
It's like one of those Super Bowl commercials.
And it had the little lights on it, little caution yellow lights on it.
Yes.
It was like one of those Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah, the world is collapsing around you, but Bruce Wayne's in a Jeep. Yeah, he's swerving around. Because they had a lot of close-ups of the Jeep. This is a pure Jeep commercial, sir. This action sequence.
So they made you watch the ending of Man of Steel again, and all you hear the whirl, and you're like...
Yeah, the world engine sucking stuff up, spatting it down.
Bruce drives around it, zooming through, knocking people over, running them over. Just not giving a shit.
You might as well have.
He makes a phone call to a guy named Jack.
hey, I'm looking at this world-destroying machine, and it's causing shockwaves. It's destroying a bunch of buildings a couple blocks over. What should I do? Get out of the building, Dick!
He tells Jack to evacuate the building, and Jack tells everybody, okay, the boss said we gotta leave, because apparently Bruce Wayne makes everybody stay inside buildings, even if there's a terrible tragedy going on, like tornadoes or something.
He has a strict missing work policy.
A missing work, that's what this is? So because this was an alien invasion he didn't count on, he decided that, oh my God, we got to get him out of there.
That's
hurricanes and tornadoes is fine. Alien invasion? No, you guys got to go.
That's the real lesson of this movie is office politics can kill people. And Bruce Wayne's, the lesson he should have learned is that he needs to let up on his employees and let them know that if they got to go to the bathroom, they can go to the bathroom. If they got to escape a galactic Earth-destroying weapon, then go ahead, leave the building.
There's the lesson, everybody.
Form a union or something.
Bruce drives around the city while this thing's doing this, driving up buildings and shit with it.
Oh, man. One of the Kryptonian crafts is flying above him on the street, and it's sideswiping buildings on both sides, and the buildings are crumbling behind him, and he's barely outrunning these buildings that are falling with the ship flying over him. It was ridiculous.
Bruce Wayne is an amazing driver.
Then he parks and gets out the car to gawk at what's happening with the other people. That NCIS guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Is
Captain,
it NCIS?
No, it's Law and Order SVU.
Law and Order SVU guy. He saw a noble death guy
Maloney.
crash into the machine.
And watch the world that just get destroyed. Then you see Superman and Zod fighting everywhere. He talking to Jack again. Jack sees Superman and Zod coming towards him. They go in the building in an office below him or something.
Firing their laser vision. It was the part in the fight where they were firing their laser vision, and it just happened to be in Wayne's building. And Jack, for some reason, did not abandon the building with everybody else. He's still up there.
Moron. And Jack decides that
it must have been at least 10 minutes,
Heavenly
Jack.
Father, save me. And he starts praying, and then the building collapses and goes down. And Bruce does the dumbest shit ever. Goes, no! Jack! And he runs into you see the building come down, and all of like the dust and the debris is coming towards everybody while everybody's running. Bruce runs toward like he's gonna go into the building and rescue Jack. Like the building's collapsed. You can't save Jack, but let me run towards it anyways. And he goes into the debris, and then it just cuts to a guy out there who's got a beam pinned on his legs. Like, Mr. Wayne, help me, Mr. Wayne.
It is incredibly foggy. He's just yelling, Mr. Wayne, and he can't even see Mr. Wayne. You saw that guy who walked past?
There was a horse walk by first, and then a guy walks by.
What the fruit was that?
A guy walks by and stares him in the face, like real close, like, and just goes around him.
Raymond, for real? For real. There was dust and it was so quiet, and whenever that horse went by, I was like, did Bruce Wayne go back in time?
Yeah, it should have happened.
Did he go back in time?
It should have happened.
He just saw a horse go by. And then that other guy walks by and is like, what the fruit are you doing walking this way?
Bruce, you idiot. I like that. We just both took a swig of water at the same time. Okay, so Bruce sees the guy.
I can't feel my legs.
They ain't there.
This is the guy.
Yeah, this is the guy.
Oh, this is the guy from the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him. I just thought there was a random amputee from...
To a certain point of the movie.
Okay, I thought he was like from Africa or something. I was like, who's this guy with the amputee leg? Okay, he's that guy. His legs are under the beams.
And he gets somebody to help him take the beam off. And then he sees a little girl standing there just looking up. And he sees the debris starting to collapse again. He runs over, grabs her, snatches her out of the way before the debris could grab her.
Raymond, I was doubting Zack Snyder. And for a second, I had such little faith in Zack Snyder that I honestly thought he was going to have Bruce Wayne run up and do
Superman's thing and catch the debris.
I thought he was going to catch the debris in front of the little girl. Luckily, he did not go that far. He just knocked her out of the way.
Catch the debris.
I thought he was going to do it.
Might as well. Anyway.
It seemed like it.
He grabs her. He's like, where's your mom? And she points up to
where the building used to be. Oh, that's not funny, but you know.
And then he sees, I guess, whenever Superman and Zod hit the satellite and all the debris from the satellite's coming down, he hugs the little girl while staring intently at the sky. Cuts to
somewhere in the Indian Ocean. They dig up kryptonite from one of the world building machines. It's encased in the shell.
Then this guy who we never see again in the movie, some white scientist guy, hammers it and pulls the kryptonite out. They don't call it kryptonite until like later on in the movie. This movie assumes you know what kryptonite is. So why didn't they just assume that we knew how Bruce Wayne became Batman? I don't know. Okay.
Well, I think they thought that telling you Bruce Wayne's backstory was imperative to his emotional connection to Superman during the fight because
of the
it hinged the thing we won't say
thing. Because his dad, we didn't say this part, but when his dad falls on the ground, he says the name
Martha.
Such a dumb reason, but okay, I'll get to that later.
Now we cut to Nairobi, Africa, where
Lois Lane is with some photographer guy who's not Jimmy Olsen. They stand there talking to African warlord, and he was like, "Didn't tell me you were going to be a lady." Meanwhile, they got Hydra agent guy there as well, just standing around too. Like, this guy found work again. This Hydra agent just here with his Hydra.
Oh yeah, it is that guy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is that Hydra agent from Winter Soldier.
Did he have much lines in Winter Soldier?
I think
the other guy talked.
He was just a second guy to Crossbones. Crossbones second in command.
He's still out there doing his corrupt thing in sunglasses next to the African warlord who's questioning Lois Lane. They destroy the camera of the photographer. They find a tracer, some sort of CIA tag. He's CIA! Put a gun to his head, and I was like, oh, wow, Superman's going to come in and save him. Then it just cuts to the next scene. Oh, I guess he got shot.
You heard the gun shot. Boom. And they pulled Lois into the tent.
Mud building.
Yeah, and Lois and the African dude are talking to each other about whatever. And then Hydra guy decides they're going to shoot the African dude's thugs, and all his Hydra agents shoot him. Then they pull some motorcycles out their asses and drive off.
What the fruit is this? It's a motorcycle. They just open a random,
the door.
A pig pen, and then there's motorcycles in there with a bunch of bikers.
They all got motorcycles. They pulled it out their ass.
I guess he just knew that Superman was on the way, so he hightailed it out of there. Lois Lane's with the African warlord. She's being threatened. Superman plunges through the roof. African warlord holds Lois Lane as a hostage. It's like, hey, what you gonna do now, Superman? And then Lois Lane lets go of the African warlord because she was clutching tight to his arm. And then Superman makes this sinister scowl at the African warlord and then just torpedoes him through the wall and murders him.
I was like, so this movie, as they build it up, was supposed to be, we're correcting the mistakes of Man of Steel with him not saving people. And when you first introduced me to Superman in this movie, he murders a guy. Like, just straight murdered brutally.
And he smirked before he did it.
Like 3 walls right quick. About 5 or 6 walls.
You think he survived that?
No, that dude didn't survive that.
It's like a stone and mud wall, and then probably went through a couple fences, it looked like, outside.
The dude's dead. Superman murdered a guy. So how are you trying to correct the mistakes? You try to, I don't understand who created this and thought, oh my God, okay, everybody's mad. Superman let all these people die. Let's let Superman kill a random dude.
I thought he was just gonna, because he's faster than a speeding bullet, I thought he would go super fast and just put his hand in front of the gun or something and then just stop the guy.
Or whenever Lois let go, he would just super tap him and boom, and he just run it back into the wall and boom. He might put like a little dent into the wall, but that'll be it.
Yeah.
No, he murdered him.
Wow. And obviously, okay, oh wow. The United States Senate is deeply disturbed by this, and there's a woman on behalf of the African tribes who is in front of the United States Senate talking to Mrs. Incredible, Senator June, saying, yeah, Superman came in and he just murdered everyone in this village. Exactly. Wasn't that what she was saying?
She's saying
Superman came in and murdered everybody.
She was like her village got murdered or something. I don't know what she was saying. But I guess she did say Superman murdered everybody.
Superman came in and he murdered everybody. And then Senator Incredible was like, let the Senate know we hold Superman responsible for his actions. And he will face justice one day once he agrees to come into this building.
Right. So just let y'all know out there. This is the lowest point for Superman in this movie. Superman is a little bit better on. But everybody else in the movie, they get a lot worse than this. Than what we just saw. Well, the other hero in this movie, the guy we call Batman. Okay.
Oh, one more thing. Senator Incredible, she looked at her calendar for vocabulary. She saw on her Merriam-Webster calendar the word unilateral. So she's going to try to use that for the rest of the movie. That's her word of the day.
Unilateral.
Let me just say, That
was not her accent.
I don't know how to do her accent. Let me just say, Superman should be accountable. This is not a unilateral thing. Throws that word out there all the time. Unilateral this, unilateral that.
Then we cut to...
We still don't get the Batman yet. Next, we got Lois Lane back on the homeland, sitting, bathing in a tub.
She's bathing naked. Amy Adams' boob is flopping in the water.
Yeah, this is not a kid's movie. If you don't know yet, this is not.
I'm not showing this to my child at all. If I have a child, not gonna watch this because this ain't the heroes that I know.
No, this
ain't heroes. This is superpowered beings in a movie.
If they are marketing on Nickelodeon this movie to kids, parents be warned. This is not for children. Mm-mm. There was a kid behind us who said, "I am scared." During this movie. It was first seen later on, but
there were some intense things that didn't need to be intense either. It was just this brutality.
Yeah.
It's brutality in this movie.
Grit and meanness.
Oh, meanness. That's a good word to use.
Yeah, this movie's very mean. And of course, yeah, in the PG-13 rating, there was a little note for sensuality. And so this scene with Amy Adams in the bathtub is your scene of sensuality. It's from a distance. Her boobs are kind of floating a bit in the water. If you looked intently at them, I'm sure you could have seen something. I tried to avoid that because I felt awkward because there are a bunch of kids in the audience.
They don't know you looking at that, Andrew. Kids don't know what you're looking at.
I felt awkward to be in this. She didn't have bubbles in this tub. This is a clear tub. It's just, it's at the right angle where you can barely see anything.
I think the lighting made it shadowy, so that's what it was.
And then Clark Kent comes in with a bag of groceries into the bathroom.
He had a bag of flowers for some reason. He didn't have groceries. Did you know that? It was just flowers in the bag.
It was just flowers?
Yeah.
Because he said, I thought I was going to cook you something.
Yeah, cook these flowers, I guess. The Kryptonians eat flowers.
She should have been like, "Excuse me, I'm bathing in here." But apparently not.
No, but he tear that ass up all the time, apparently. Whoa. Ferociously.
And she's
with
like,
his Superman powers.
Oh, she's hiding something from him. She's hiding a bullet that hit her journal during the attack in Africa from Superman. And this bullet will be essential for some reason later on.
No. Yeah, sure, why not?
So she's not trusting Clark with knowledge. She's being deceitful by hiding this information from Superman.
Was there a scene where she was like looking at it and then like hit it when he came in?
She was looking at it in the bathtub, and then whenever she heard Clark Kent come into the apartment, she hit it behind her in the bathtub, like behind a towel or something.
Oh.
So she's hiding evidence from Clark, who could have examined it and maybe investigated it.
They would have got to the bottom of things a lot sooner.
Yeah.
So Clark decides to get in the bathtub with her and tear that ass up with his clothes on.
For kids.
Yeah.
Amy Adams makes one point about, after the Africa incident, I'm not sure how it could work with you being who you are and me being who I am. But then she just ignores that, and Superman just gets in with his clothes on and starts...
tears that ass up.
Yeah.
So then we still don't get Batman. We cut to Lex Luthor playing basketball.
In LexCorp, which is like a Google place now. Basketball court inside LexCorp Technologies building.
And Lex is like... crazy.
Jesse Eisenberg, lanky, long hair.
It's like, ha! Look at me! I'm playing basketball, everybody. And then,
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Like, I'm playing basketball.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can we do for you? He's like, come on, Senator, I'll show you what I got.
He's very off. He's very unhinged. He's always caffeinated or something. Constantly twitchy and all over the place.
He's like, come on, Senator, look at this piece of little small rock. Let me show you what it does. They look at a video where they tested the rock on General Zod's dead body and saw that it decayed Kryptonian cells. They're like, this rock is going to change things. This great mineral.
This green mineral.
We found a big one to make a big impact. Can I get it shipped here? And the senator's like, no, I'm going to stop your shipping. And some other agency guy that we don't see.
General or something.
We don't see anymore in the movie. After this scene,
he goes behind Senator Incredible's back and tries to make a deal with Lex. It's like, I like the idea of having this anti-Superman...
Planetary security is what they called it.
Oh, planetary security.
She was like, Homeland Security? Planetary security.
They mentioned their concern about metahumans. They classify Superman as one of the first metahumans. Lex Luthor Jr., because his father was Lex Luthor, and the father's dead, apparently, and he just inherited everything. Lex Luthor Jr. is talking about, yeah, we need to create some sort of insurance policy, some sort of metahuman deterrent. That's what this kryptonite can do, and I can do this for you guys. General's on board. behind the senator's back, says, "What do you need, Lex Luthor?" And Lex Luthor's like, "I'll tell you what I need. What I need is you to eat this gummy bear."
Shoves the gummy bear in the guy's mouth.
It's strawberry.
It was a Jolly Rancher. That's what it was.
That was Jolly. It's strawberry. He's like shoving it in this general.
And he touches the guy's lips with his finger, and then he starts licking his lips. Delicious.
Okay, but after that, I need full nude access to General Zod's body.
Zod's body.
And then I also need access to the downed ship, the General Zod Kryptonian atmosphere ship, which they actually built a whole entire structure around over the course of 18 months.
Fucking moving it.
It's like a museum now where people can go visit it.
Get some chickens right here, everybody. Get your popcorn.
There's even shrubberies and lawn work. Like, they're not planning to move this thing. It looks like it's Sydney Opera House or something.
We're going to keep this alien technology in the middle of the city. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Lex Luthor gets Zod's body and uses the kryptonite sample he has to cut off his fingerprints and store his fingerprints separately. He goes to visit the ship and doesn't do anything quite yet on the ship that I can remember.
He just looks at it. He walks slowly there. Then we cut to...
Oh, yeah, to the beat, too. They're playing that orchestral score.
Boom, boom.
As he steps.
Doom, doom. I liked his theme there, that little piano theme that he had. Doom, doom.
I guess I should say positive things whenever I see them. But I'll say that the opening action sequence with Bruce driving around the Jeep, I actually was a little pumped by that. I was like, oh, cool. We're starting off right where Man of Steel was ending, and Bruce Wayne's in the middle of the action. And I was actually... Like, if it kept this kind of campy but fun, exciting tone to it, I would have really enjoyed this movie a lot more.
Can't have fun in this.
Yeah, I thought that sequence was really fun, that opening.
There's no fun in this right here. You can't have fun. This is a serious movie. This is a Zack Snyder movie. You can't have fun in this.
Were you enjoying that at all?
No.
You didn't like that opening?
I didn't enjoy none of this shit.
It was getting me tapping there. Maybe it's Hans Zimmer's score during that part.
God. Help me. Then we cut to some bats flying out of a chimney. Some police roll up, start looking and see these Asian women behind a cage.
Oh my gosh, a human trafficking ring.
And he was like, oh my God!
The devil saved us.
The cops were reading the subtitles on the screen, by the way, too. And
yeah, they understood the language. You're right.
The cops was like, what? He's still upstairs. And then they go upstairs.
Cop is slowly investigating, very ominously with a shotgun.
He sees the guy tied up to a pole. And he moves slowly around. The camera can see in the background the blurry figure.
That was pretty cool.
Then he starts shooting at it.
Bang, bang.
And then Batman just CGI crawls his way out of the building through a hole.
A
like
hole
he
that
had
was created...
vampire powers.
Wait. Okay, let's break this down. Batman was posed like Spider-Man up in like the corner of the ceiling.
He's a metahuman.
Okay. Maybe he's got
See
like
the way
some
he
sort of
crawls out of
Spider-Man. Yeah. But I was also amazed by the fact that the only reason he was able to crawl out of there was because he got shot with a shotgun and the shells that didn't hit him cleared a roof in the ceiling, it seemed like. He got shot by a shotgun.
I just thought he went
and it blew a hole behind him in the ceiling, and then he went up into it.
I just thought he went to a hole that was already there.
No, a shotgun made a hole in the ceiling, but the shotgun was pointed at him. So the bullets went through his body, created a hole in the ceiling. He was fine, and then he went up the hole.
He telephased his body. But this is the last time we see Batman use his superpowers like this.
Yeah. And then the other cop shows up like, what are you doing? Cop with a shotgun turns and
like,
shoots.
Ah!
He shot that cop with a shotgun.
In the face, but he survived.
I guess he was using magic bullets that don't hit people. They only hit environment.
Batman survives because his suit isn't like just superpowered suit.
You could shoot him in the back of the head and he doesn't.
Oh, spoilers. I was going to mention that. I was going to mention that, but I was going to save it till later. But yeah, a Batman suit is made of magical stopping bullet abilities. I don't want to compare it to other things, but we could compare it to the other Batman movies. Whenever you see him get shot or something before, he temporarily gets like knocked out. This was in the back of the head. He should have been knocked out. We
can complain about that much later when we get to that.
Thinking about 1980 Batman when they shoot him and he falls down. They like some kind of body armor. Then he gets back up and starts fighting him again.
In this scene, he got hit in the chest with a shotgun blast that blew the roof off, and he still crawled out. So
he's the immortal Batman.
And then the other cop wasn't wearing anything. He got shot with a shotgun. Luckily, the bullets didn't count for some reason. And he said, hey, man, don't shoot the good guys. He's like, I saw him. Wait a minute. Everybody in the city knows Batman is technically a good guy. Why was he shooting at Batman in the first place if he recognized that it was Batman?
He said, I saw him. I never seen him before.
So, So good to see you,
Yeah,
Batman.
this Batman's existed for 25 years, apparently.
Eat some
Batman's
lead.
existed for 20 years.
Then everyone definitely knows.
That Batman's Batman. So why are you shooting at Batman? He
Yeah.
started you, should have fired one shot and that's it.
The cops examine the body of the human trafficker. They see that he's been branded with a bat symbol on his chest.
Then it cuts to Bruce Wayne coming down the elevator into the Batcave, talks to Alfred about some shit. And Alfred's working on a speaker box for some reason. I know. We see the speakers later on in the movie, but at first I was like, why is Alfred working on a speaker box?
To give the audience an excuse for Batman's voice in the movie.
No.
It's completely there for the
he's
audience.
Working on a stereo. That's what he's working on. The big circle stereo thing. He uses at the end of the movie against Superman. The first thing he uses on him, the little sound things. That's what he was working on.
That's BS. That was just there to show the stupid voice thing. Alfred wasn't doing anything.
Then he checked the things.
Alfred wasn't doing anything.
Red, yellow leather, catfish, blah.
You're getting slow in your old age, Alfred. Alfred wasn't out in the field. What are you making fun of Alfred for?
And Alfred was like, fuck you, do what I want.
Jeremy Irons, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know what happens in this scene between these two. Nothing important.
Did they talk about the Russian yet? That Antolio guy?
They talk about that when they're in his penthouse that he built on Wayne Manor, but doesn't sleep in the Wayne Mansion because the Wayne Mansion caught fire, but he never rebuilt it. In this universe.
Oh,
it caught fire, but he never rebuilt it. He's a penthouse on the estate of Wayne Manor.
in this scene, after the human trafficking scene, they discussed that he went to the human trafficking ring and he discovered that the Russians involved with it were part of something bigger, and it had to do with this Antolio guy. They did pull up a file on the back computer, and they saw the
Hydra agent?
The Hydra agent, Antolio or whatever.
Oh, they looking for the white Russian or whatever, the white panda?
Yeah.
The white rabbit?
The white Portuguese.
Oh, the white port. That's fucking racist as fuck, but okay.
Whoa.
So they looking for the white Portuguese. You don't even know if he's a man. Throws newspaper in his face. And Clark's looking at a news report too of the bat had branded the guy. And Clark Kent goes to Daily Planet, tells Perry, hey, we should work on this. Perry's like, no, you're doing sports, okay? Clark was like, no. We need to know about this bat vigilante. Larry Fishburne was like, no, we're doing what I say because I'm the boss. What happens next?
This movie is a blur of motivations and quick stuff happening. Well,
I don't know anybody's motivation for anything. Well, Superman's I can understand. Batman and Lex Luthor, I don't know what the fuck was going on. Two psychopaths.
okay, I'm going to say that the next thing is Lex Luthor talking to Senator Incredible back at Lex Luthor's
That
place.
sounds about right.
Okay, invites her in, and for some reason, her bodyguards and Lex's bodyguards just stay out there. Nobody's protecting anybody in this situation. Miss Incredible comes in and says, yeah, I'm definitely not going to let you import that kryptonite crap. You can piss in my granny's tea and call it tea, but I'm not drinking it, Lex Luthor. And then he's like, the red capes are coming. The red capes are coming. Starts making horse hoof noises on the table. You guys are going to be shouting that from the rooftops whenever the Kryptonians invade. Devils don't come from hell beneath us. They come from the sky. We need to be prepared. Basically, you better watch your back, Senator Incredible.
I thought he was trying to get her parents or something.
What?
I don't know. It was a weird scene the way it was set out. I thought he was like going to try to seduce her, but he didn't.
The score was definitely intimidating. I just assumed that he was going to kill her right then and there.
He probably was going to do the R word. This man was nut job.
Yeah, he was a nut job.
By the way, he has an Asian assistant, Mercy. Mercy Graves is in this movie.
Okay, she opens a few doors.
She doesn't do anything. Yeah, she opens doors.
Escorts Zod's casket.
She tells Bruce to go find a bathroom or some shit like that. Anyways.
Bruce, he had a nightmare. He was looking at his mother Martha Wayne's gravestone, and then a giant, very scary bat popped his head out of the gravestone and just ate him. The little kid behind me was like, I am scared. What am I watching?
Me too, kid.
What am I watching?
Let's get out of here.
And so Batfleck was scared awake, and Alfred comes in with more information about Antolio. Oh, wait. Before that happened, Bruce Wayne was at a fight club with Antolio.
He
And
cloned his phone, and then Alfred told him that he makes calls to this location, Luthor Estate or something like that.
that next morning, after he slept with that woman and had that nightmare.
Some unknown lady.
Yeah, I guess that's your playboy. Alfred comes in, and Batfleck is like, how are we going to get to Luthor? Maybe I can sneak in, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's not necessary, sir. Luthor invited you. Luthor's holding some sort of gala at his company building. Batfleck plans to sneak downstairs during the gala, tap into the LexCorp server farm to see what information's on it. Clark Kent also shows up as a photographer for the Daily Planet to cover the gala. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman in disguise, is just walking around getting stared at by Batfleck constantly. Ben Affleck's just staring at her like, I think you're going to be significant for some reason. I just
You want to
can't
get in
keep
them
my-
pants.
Yeah, I guess.
In that skirt, that dress.
Lex Luthor's making crazy speeches on stage about...
This man is saying the most insane shit. Nobody's stopping him. Nobody's like, hey, somebody, this man's a nut job. Get him off the stage.
Prometheus, and this guy flew too close to the sun, and then his
Threw
wings
lightning
welted.
bolts and one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Everybody. Woo!
They say the red fish is not like the blue fish, but I tell you, the green fish is where it's at. And then Bruce is like, I don't want to listen to this anymore. Alfred's like, you just got to go to the door on your such and such. And then Clark Kent can hear Alfred on Bruce's earpiece. Is like, what's going on with Bruce Wayne? Who's talking in his ear?
And he follows him. Bruce hooks up his little device to the server farm. Mercy comes. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I was looking for the bathroom. Mercy's like, all right, it's not downstairs, you idiot. So she leaves. He's like, nice shoes. He goes back up. Alfred's like, it's going to take about 7 minutes. Oh, the little screen tells us it's going to take 7 minutes on the device for some reason.
Yeah, that's nice of that device.
So Alfred told him.
So anybody who came in and discovered that device might think it's a bomb or something and panic the whole building. Good
So
going,
Alfred told him,
Bruce.
go upstairs and mingle. Some metropolis woman will make an honest man out of you. Ha! Alfred, in your dreams.
And then
that's what he
he
said.
sips on some scotch or something. Raymond, that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. You heard me laugh during that.
I did.
I really enjoyed Jeremy Irons as Alfred. He was one of my favorite parts of this movie. I got to be honest with you.
I gotta be honest with you. I couldn't enjoy anything from what I was seeing. I was trying my best.
Alfred had some humor to him, and that's why I really like Jeremy Irons as Alfred.
I understand what you say, but
He's like one of the only person who seemed human and had levity.
because of everything that was going on around Alfred, I couldn't get into this. I couldn't enjoy none of this shit.
I support Jeremy Irons, man. Good on you, man.
I don't think I support any of this, but okay.
Sip that scotch and bereave the fact that you're in this movie.
Then
Lex Luthor, he was saying some more crazy stuff on stage, and then people applauded for him. Bruce Wayne's having that conversation with Clark Kent from trailer number 2 about hypocrisy.
speaking about the Bat Vigilante doing all this crazy shit to people, then Bruce was like, well, you got that dude saving kittens, and I don't like him because he an alien, because I'm racist. Kent was like, whatever. Why you hate him so much? He's like, because he just blows stuff up. He's an alien.
Boys!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, isn't this gallery fabulous?
Oh my gosh, we're all here. Woo! He starts throwing confetti in the air and shit. It's like, what are you doing? You crazy?
Hey, what's up, Bruce Wayne, my man, my bro? He just like a little fist
Yeah.
bump thing. And then, ooh, Clark Kent, look at those pecs. He like squeezes Clark Kent's chest.
You should not pick a fight with this guy.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my God. He's like, I love bringing people together. And Mercy walks over, like, the senator. He's like, oh, the senator. Oh, bye, guys. He walks away.
Bruce Wayne spots Wonder Woman going downstairs. He goes downstairs to check on his server tampering device. Clark Kent follows him because he still hears him talking to Alfred. As they're passing the security room, Clark Kent stops following Bruce Wayne because he sees there's a disturbance in maybe a Mexican country or
It's
something.
wherever the day of the dead was. Probably was James
Mexican.
Bond was blowing some shit up. Spectre?
Spectre.
Yeah, that's what he had to go save the world from James Bond.
There was a factory on fire, so he just flew off to save them. Bruce Wayne saw
The device was gone.
Wonder Woman stole it.
Diana had it. She walked out.
Then Bruce Wayne goes out to the valet, and I must have forgot my keys. It's like, oh, your wife already took your car home. My wife? Wonder Woman flying off. It takes a while to get back into the swing of things.
We missed the part. That's insignificant, but it was so weird. The guy who had his legs cut off decided that he was going to go to the memorial area where all the people died and they got the names on the walls. And he climbs up the Superman statue with no legs and spray face. The security people see him doing this. The security guy says, get down. And he throws the top of the can at the security guy. And then he starts spraying like one line. But then it cuts to a news segment of, hey, somebody defiled this. Apparently security people were nice enough to let him finish spelling out false god on the statue before they pulled him down.
I guess they were worried that since he didn't have legs, they couldn't like taser the guy because he wouldn't land on his feet. He would just...
Taser that dude!
He might die. Like he'll seize up and then he'll just
He
fall
got
off
arms
and land
that'll
on his
stop
head.
him.
No, he'll seize up and he won't be
How
able to
can
use
your
his
legs
arms.
stop you from doing that? Anybody with legs will still seize up and fall too.
Yeah, but they'll have more lower body weight, so their lower body might... There's a chance they'll land on their butt.
They let him finish putting false god on the statue.
All his weight is in his arms and his head. His head's going to hit the ground.
They were nice enough to let him finish. It was so stupid.
Yeah, spray-painted red S with false god. It's all over the news. Blah, blah, blah. What do you think of Superman? Then there's a montage of Superman saving people, grabbing rockets that he knew were going to blow up for some reason.
Yeah.
Saving people who were...
A flooding area. They did, instead of putting help on their roof, they put the Superman symbol.
People talking about the ethics of Superman.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said that we shouldn't call him Superman anymore because he's not a real person.
Yeah. And doesn't it make you feel more insignificant to know that he is an alien and there are other things out there? Don't you feel horrible as a human being? Don't you feel pessimistic about your place in the universe now? Neil deGrasse Tyson was being so depressing about this news.
He's like that in real life too.
Instead of being inspired, like, wow, there's a whole new universe out there of people just like us. The optimistic thing, he's like, oh man, that's depressing. That probably means there's no God or something. And oh my gosh, we're all gonna die. It's like,
speaking of
geez, Neil.
The movie does a lot. And this was the closest thing we get in the movie of a Superman sequel was Superman dealing with the God hero thing. They were trying to throw that in there, but they didn't really do it correctly.
After he saved the girl from the factory fire, they had all those people trying to touch him.
Yeah, so he's like looked up at like a savior, and that's what they're discussing too. There's like all these religions have all these different things about their saviors, and as soon as we get a savior, now he has to obey by our rules.
What if he's not a savior? What if he's just a guy trying to do the right thing?
Well, maybe he is.
Well, screw him.
So they was trying to do that for Superman.
Screw him. He doesn't have unilateral authority. Unilateral. I've successfully privatized world peace.
Woo!
What's
the next part of the movie? The little subplot. Lois meets with the general from the first movie. She gives him the bullet. He tells her, hey, the bullet came from LexCorp.
Well, at first he was reluctant and says, keep your conspiracy theories to yourself. You're trying to make you and Superman look good by trying to uncover this other thing.
With your balls.
The U.S. government did not fund this army, so he was insulted at first. But then he stopped being insulted and saw her again and took the bullet and then found out it was from LexCorp. So LexCorp hired the Gooms as private security in Africa for that African warlord.
It cuts to Batman just being in the museum.
Bruce Wayne
being in the museum, and he follows Diana Prince around. He's like, you stole something from mine. That's her name.
Diana Prince?
Diana Prince
Wonder Woman?
is Wonder Woman's name, because she's the princess of Themyscira. Okay.
Yeah, they were looking at ancient Alexander the Great blade.
He was like, it's a fake. The real one's hanging above some guy's bedroom. She's like, I know.
Cool story, Bruce.
He was like, you stole something of mine, Miss Diana. She was like, no, I didn't steal it. I borrowed it. Here, you can find it in your glove compartment. He stole a picture from me and I wanted it back. And I was like, oh shit, he got nudes of it? And I was like so excited. And then,
whoa.
Then later on we found out what the picture was.
Were you not?
You wasn't thinking the same thing? He had nudes of Wonder Woman.
I thought it was amusing too. It's like, wait, picture of you?
He got nudes of Wonder Woman.
Lex Luthor got pictures of you?
He got the nudies, yo.
He's just blackmailing everybody in this
Leak
movie.
that shit. The super fappening. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, I know you've been upset about the way strong women have to badmouth men in movies recently and degrade men. Were you upset by her boys comment that she made to Bruce Wayne in this scene?
No.
It's true what they say. Boys don't want to share.
No, because this one is... It's not
accurate.
The guys aren't being portrayed as stupid in this movie. She's just being sassy. That's why it's okay with me.
But Bruce accepts her saying that even though she's completely wrong. She says, boys just don't want to share. Wonder Woman, I would have shared with you if you maybe had told me your intentions and asked me, but you actually did steal it. It's not borrowing if you take it without asking and then return it. That's not borrowing.
I'm be honest with you. I don't think he would have shared. This Batman don't look like he shares.
He probably wouldn't have shared, but you just assumed he wouldn't share. At least ask the guy. And then whenever he says no, take it if you need it.
I don't know what this is. This ain't a real Batman.
Okay, so she assumed that it was okay because it had military decryption. So she just gave it back to him because she couldn't open it?
Yeah, he downloaded the files and she couldn't open it because he had to decrypt it first.
But her secret's on there. Why wouldn't she just destroy it?
That's a good question.
Why would she give it back to him? She knows he'll probably be able to decrypt what she couldn't decrypt.
She wanted him to see the nudes. I guess she realized, oh, he's Bruce Wayne, he's Batman, he's on my side. I don't know.
Does she know he's Batman at this point?
I'm going to assume yes, because everybody in this movie knows who everybody is.
That is true. Everybody who's anybody knows who everybody is.
All the main characters know who they are. The other people don't know. Okay, so
there was a nice sentimental scene with Diane Lane as Ma Kent talking about Superman and all this media attention. Like, you don't owe the world a dadgum thing, Clark. Your father wanted you to be the hero, wanted you to save people, and I know Raymond got upset during this because this is completely wrong. The father didn't want him to be the hero and save people. The father wanted him to hide.
I think this was after. She didn't say that. He was saying this to Lois, and that's what drew me out, because that scene could have been great, but then he said that about Pa Kent, and I was like, that's completely wrong. Completely false. Now you treat me like I'm a dumbass.
Oh. Well, then it's just a redundant scene. But he does talk to Ma Kent about the media coverage, because then she goes to the diner and she's working whenever what happens. Right. And they play the nice, memorable theme from Hans Zimmer, that piano music for Man of Steel.
All right. The dude who spray painted the thing on the thing gets freed. Spray painted.
the legless dude gets off free. Lex Luthor
got him out, said, I want you to do some stuff for me.
He was in his apartment and he turned around in a mechanical wheelchair, gave it to him as a present.
And he went to the senator, was like, I want to face him.
Face who?
Superman?
Legless wheelchair guy makes a deal with Lex Luthor to go before the Senate, plead a negative case towards Superman. Oh, I guess we skipped the famous scene right before this. Batman decides to go after the kryptonite. He was talking to Alfred. You're gonna go to war.
That son of a bitch brought the war to us.
If there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we need to take it as an absolute certainty.
So do we go to the Senate scene now?
It has to be the Batman scene.
Yes, it is that. Okay. Batman is standing on top of a
crane overlooking a dock where the kryptonite block is coming in on a wooden crate being put onto an 18-wheeler at the dock. A bunch of Hydra agents are there with SUVs and cars ready to escort it.
He's got a sniper rifle in his hand and he shoots the tracker at the top part of the back of the truck. Why does he need a sniper rifle to shoot a tracker? Shouldn't he just be able to shoot a tracker with another device?
Just attach it to a grappling gun as an extension item.
This was fucking ridiculous.
Wait, how do we get from point A to point B here?
Just show the people, put the stuff in the truck. They start driving off. Then it cuts to them stopping at one point. A guy in one of the back seat looks over and sees the Batmobile charging at him. Batman's already inside the Batmobile. He telephased. So anyways, he's coming out, grabs the car, flips that shit over with his Batmobile.
And he keeps going, chasing the others, but he fires a grappling hook back at the car that he already took out, that was wedged into a trailer, and
pulls it out, starts dragging it. Wouldn't that be slowing him down?
He's murdering people. Maybe they would have survived him ramming the car and it flipping over, but now he's dragging it around the street, constantly having this car flip over, and he's using it, makes it flip over in front of him and land on another car.
Somehow he's able to control momentum the craziest way in physics, and he uses it, makes a turn, and it hits another car or a ramp or something, and it flies over his car and runs into the other villain's car.
He crushes a car full of people with a car of other people he just murdered.
Yes. And if that doesn't do it for you.
And then he opens fire.
Okay, the bad guys take the hood off the back of their SUV and has a Gatling gun, starts firing at Batman. The Batman uses his guns.
He's got 2 huge turrets on the front of his freaking car.
And he starts firing them, putting huge holes into the SUV, and the guy dies.
It explodes too.
Yeah. It
breaks up into fire, and he runs through the fire of the dead people.
He was insane, batshit crazy.
And then somehow he got an angle on the 18-wheeler, flew off of something, and he just smashes through the top of the 18-wheeler. I thought he crushed all the people in the 18-wheeler.
That's because when he was still chasing them, another 18-wheeler blocked him. Villain cars ran into it, blew up. He had to make a quick turn. He went through a brick wall, flew up and used the top of his car to crush the back of that, perfectly not hitting the tracking device, by the way. Landed and went through a ship that was in the shipping yard, got stuck in it, fired his way out. The Batmobiles are indestructible.
Thank goodness those poor Hydra agents all ducked. And they all just stood up like, what the fruit just went through our truck, man?
Man's a psychopath.
Then he starts chasing after him again, and then all of a sudden, surprise, surprise.
He turns the corner and Superman's standing there. And he hits Superman and bounces off Superman. Or somehow he ended up on the other side of Superman even though he bounced off of him. I don't know.
He was swerving, bounced on the middle front side. So because of how hard he hit Superman and it was a movable object, knocked the front side to cause it to spin around, and then he hit the other.
But if he hit him like that, he would spin the other way. So he did that. Superman walks over, pulls the hood off of the Batmobile. He stands up. And it's supposed to be like the badass moment from the trailer. But then they start talking to each other and Superman's like, hey, don't
Next time he flies away. That was it.
Next time they put your signal up.
Don't what the fuck was that, Superman? Get back here. What were you trying to say?
He says next time they put your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. And then Batman's like, do you bleed? And then he just looks at him. And then he flies off. And they're like, you will. Batman talking shit while Superman back was turned. Why did he say, hey, I'm chasing down these villains who work for Lex Luthor. You want to help me? Oh, because I'm getting the kryptonite to try to kill you with. But why didn't Superman assess the situation first and be like, okay, these guys do look like villains that he's chasing. Instead of flying away, maybe I should go after them myself? Like, what? I don't understand why they were so hostile towards each other for no goddamn reason. So anyways, that happens. Batman flies off. Oh, Superman flies off.
You might as well. Batman just takes off after Superman.
Oh, God. I think we skipped the...
What? Was there anything important?
It was the dream sequence.
Why was that dream sequence? What?
He finally decrypts the thing, finds out where the shipment's gonna be. Batman falls asleep, and it just like he doesn't fall asleep.
It was a hard cut. It wasn't even a fade out to imply that he was sleeping.
It just cuts, and Batman's in a jacket in the desert.
In a post-apocalyptic Mad Max
looking
city.
Over, he's got the Omega symbols carved into the ground.
Wait, there's no transition. It's like they put a different film reel on here.
But we know they didn't for sure. If this was filmed, I probably would have thought that too.
This scene is pointless. It does not belong in the movie at all. This is just spectacle for the sake of spectacle. Why is the scene in the movie? All it does is confuse the audience.
This is setting up
the
Justice League.
No, it's not.
Because
it's not.
He's supposed to be dreaming about Superman being evil, but at the same time, he's being fed information from the Flash that Darkseid is coming.
That
so
was
it's like
Flash?
a mix. That was Flash, and that was from the future.
That was Ezra Miller, future Flash?
That's who that was. That was in.
Because I was just tripping at this point. I was like, what the fruit am I watching?
Because like after he woke up, you saw that, but then he wakes up again. So I don't know if it was like
he wakes up in his Batcave, and there's like an electrical storm portal of glowing white light, and he's just staring like, what the fruit is happening?
Because he says to him, this is why the end of the movie is like this. He says to him, you're right about Lois, and then he says, find us all, Bruce, find us all, and that's why at the end he has the motivation to find them all because of that stupid scene. Find us all, Bruce.
But the time paradox thing, if Flash goes back and tells him to find them all,
I watched
means
this movie today on Netflix, Flashpoint Paradox. I watched that movie, sorry. It talks about Flash time travel and how he messes things up.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking about the fact that if Flash is already going back in time to send this message to Bruce Wayne, then obviously they already joined up and it didn't work, right? Or is he from a future where the Justice League never came together? Is that what he's implying?
That's what I'm assuming. He's from the future where the Justice League never came together.
And so he's warning.
Wants Bruce to find them all, to get them all ready.
Frick. Well, before that, there was
apocalypse.
This
is a dumb sequence. It's weird.
It was in a post-apocalyptic city covered in sand with some sort of spaceship, molten lava or something. Mad Max cars on the road. There's a shipment coming in. Batman in a trench coat and goggles on goes to check a shipment of what he thinks is kryptonite. Turns out it's just a couple of light bulbs. They betray him. They're Superman soldiers.
He fights them off and shoots them with guns, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And parademons fly in. And one of them punches Batman in the back of the head.
Oh, my gosh.
Which were the...
Why?
Other Darkseid's henchmen, the parademons. You needed to see those parademons.
Bunch of flying monkeys come in while he's fighting normal people and shooting them. Superman's thugs catch him. They take him and 2 other people who were with him underground.
Tie him up.
Have him hanging by his wrists. Superman comes down. His soldiers bow in the hall in front of him. Superman zaps and kills the 2 other people next to Batman.
With his laser vision.
Oh my gosh. And then he rips the cowl off Batman, which is Batman's worst nightmare. Sees Bruce Wayne, looks at the cowl, throws it to the ground, gets his palm ready.
It's like, she was so important to me, and you ruined it.
Then he proceeds to stab his hand through
To
Bruce
rip
Wayne's
his heart
chest.
out. That's when he wakes up and sees the Flash in his time bubble
What's
thingy.
happening?
I have no clue what they were trying to go for here.
What is
It
happening?
was weird. Was
just-
Flash sending him messages through his dreams? His dream was already confusing. I don't get what was happening. But he wakes up and Flash is there.
Here's a scene from 4 movies from now, guys. It's gonna be great. This is not a dream sequence. They just filmed a scene from a future movie randomly.
It has to be. Wait, how many more? There's going to have Wonder Woman, then they have Justice League, huh?
Yeah, part 1 and part 2.
Justice League's part 1 and part 2?
Yeah.
Why? So anyways,
Superman agrees to show up at the Senate at this huge hearing on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. for the amputee guy who was wronged by his destruction in Metropolis so many years ago when he was fighting Zod. Lex Luthor shows up, says some snarky comments to Senator Incredible. Yeah, I'm going to go to the bathroom, but I'll see you in there for that hearing.
he lets Mercy go in there, too. I guess they were establishing there's a bunch of different Mercies. I don't know.
Superman comes flying in. Everybody's covering it. Bruce is watching it from one of his office meeting rooms. Mama Kit is watching it from her day job. Amy Adams is watching it from outside. She had something important about the bullet being from Lex Luthor, and it's a trap by Lex Luthor, but she doesn't attempt to call for Superman, who probably would listen for Lois anywhere because he just tunes in anytime Lois is in trouble or needs him.
But he doesn't do that for his own mama, though.
Ooh. Superman goes into the Senate building. Slightly iconic imagery, I guess, of our government oppressing our heroes. Walks in before the Senate. Senator Incredible is like, on behalf of this amputee victim, you will be held responsible. And then she looks down and she sees a glass full of some sort of yellow liquid.
Stumbling her words.
Getting very nervous. She sees a label on it. The end of the label says tea. And then she turns it around. Granny's peach tea. And then she's like, oh.
Boom.
She looks at the amputee. The amputee's wheelchair just blows up the whole entire building. Blows up Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C.
So while everybody was watching this, though, Bruce was like, did we send these guys the tragedy funds? We have. He sent them back, and it's got all the checks that he sent to the guy with stuff written on about people are dead, my family died, or whatnot. This one just came this morning, and after the amputee blew up. Yeah, huh?
Oh, sorry. They're establishing the amputee is crazy.
No. Because later on in the movie, Lex been interfering and is the one who's been stopping that guy's checks from getting through.
They're establishing that Lex planted that evidence to try to make the amputee look like he was crazy and that he was a lone bomber.
That the guy blew up and did that?
Yeah, he wrote crazy messages to make it look like the amputee was insane.
Is that what it was?
And that he
I
was
just
a
thought
bomber.
he was trying to make it look like Superman did it to everybody when he was in there.
That too.
Because
I don't know.
they have a scene with him and Lois, and then Superman was like...
I guess no one would know it was the amputee's wheelchair, except for Superman.
Well, I think in the news they mentioned
Superman
that it was...
might want to testify.
They did do it. They did mention that it was his chair.
Oh, so
I don't
Superman
know.
did.
But anyways, Lex has been interfering. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, they told us before this even happened.
What?
Lois found out, but didn't warn
No,
Superman.
I'm talking about the writing on the checks. Bruce gets one, and after the explosion, Bruce opens one, and it says, "You let your family die." So how was Jack related to him? Jack wasn't an important character, but for some reason we were supposed to care about Jack.
When I saw "You Let Your Family Die" written like that, I just assumed from the preview that maybe it was like the Joker who wrote that. But no, it's something else. Huh?
Well, this Lex Luthor is like a combination of the Joker and Lex Luthor. He's just insane, crazy guy.
He's just behind everything. If you're wondering why something is happening, it's Lex Luthor in this movie. Lex Luthor is everything in this movie. Everything is Lex Luthor.
Everything.
It's all his fault. Whenever Capitol Hill exploded, Ma Kent, that CRT-2 TV had very powerful bass. Like, it shocked her.
She dropped the coffee pot. So then Superman goes to Lois
in her hotel room on the balcony.
This would have been a nice scene if the other movie was good, because he was like, yeah, my dad wanted me to be something. Superman was just a figment of this guy's imagination. There can't be Superman, because people just don't respect me. They just think I'm a monster. She was like, this means something. This means hope. He was like, no, it doesn't. It meant something on my world. And he flies off. So it's like a Superman's losing his faith kind of thing. This would have been a great sequel if we just had a Superman sequel about faith and him being the god or the hero. But no, this is what we had. So he flew off. Lex takes the fingerprints of Zod, opens up the Kryptonian ship, sees a little sentry thing that was going to attack Lois, but apparently it doesn't attack him because it assumes he's Zod, even though it probably read him, sees that he's a human being. He's talking to the ship like, would you like to assume control, Lex Luthor? Speaking in English instead of Kryptonian all of a sudden, by the way.
They did a quick thing where it was going through languages until somehow they knew he understood it.
Hey there. That's, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was supposed to be your explanation for that.
But why would it give him a human control? Shouldn't it read and be like, this guy's not Kryptonian? So anyways, he takes General Zod's body, looks at it.
Admires the penis.
Yeah.
Admires the shaft. Make sure it's covered so the audience doesn't get traumatized.
Yeah, he straightens it out for him.
Dumps it in the goo, does some research on Kryptonian backstories and their knowledge of the universe.
He cuts his hand, pours blood on Zod's face. The computer's like, foreign DNA detected. Council forbids creating abominations. He's like, where's the council? They're destroyed. Do it anyways. And so the computer decides to do it anyways. Forms a chrysalis around the body. After the whole bombing thing, Bruce gets mad, and then Lex goes back to LexCorp and sees that it was attacked. Bullet shells on the ground, and
a batarang is lodged where the kryptonite rock used to be. Batman took the whole entire kryptonite rock for his own purposes so he can construct his own weapons to fight Superman.
I'm gonna let you know it was me. Who? Why?
Smart move. Batman breaking and entering, doing criminal activity.
So for some reason,
and letting people know.
Filmmakers decided that we should see the scene where Batman fails at getting it, and we should not see the scene where Batman actually gets it. I guess so he could have that first meeting with Superman. Whatever.
It would have been nice to have another Batman fight sequence in this movie. And that could have been the opportunity right there, breaking into LexCorp. A nice stealth sequence that turns haywire and he has to take them all down.
Batman's not stealthy. This Batman's a fucking murderer.
Well, we'll get to that. Meanwhile, Clark Kent is on a journey of self-discovery. He's climbing some snowy mountains. And he sees Paul Kent stacking stones on a mountaintop. Hey, how's it going, Clark? Hey, did I ever tell you a story about how I went out with my dad and blah, blah, blah? And Clark's like, what the fruit am I on right now? What am I looking at?
Why was this in the movie? Okay, so I don't think I fully explained why I didn't like to see...
Where he was talking about his dad with Lois laying on the balcony. Why did you not like that scene?
Because his dad was totally against him coming out in public and helping people in the first movie. He wasn't the Jonathan Kent that we know of from the comics.
They ignore that backstory.
Yeah, so for some reason they decide to treat the audience like they're stupid and ignore this, and you should go with the Jonathan Kent that is already ingrained in you. So they try to erase stuff that they did before. But anyways, he sees Jonathan Kent for some reason. He came back as a Force ghost and started talking to him.
And he tells Clark Kent a story that Clark Kent never learned. So how is Clark Kent getting a story he never heard from Pa Kent before?
This could have easily just been given to Ma Kent, and Ma Kent could have just told him, your dad used to wake up with nightmares about the animals drowning, because him and his father went out one time to block this river from coming, but then they learned that they didn't block it. They redirected it, and it drowned a few of their animals and lost some other things. You see, everything's just not what we want it to be. We can't save everything. That's easily could have been given to Ma Kent. Yeah. But for some reason, they paid another actor money to come back for this.
So what's the moral of that story? It's like, sure, even though you can't save everything and there's a ripple effect and other people that you couldn't save at that time will still get flooded or whatever.
I can't remember what Pa Kent said at the end for the moral to be complete because I was just drawn out of it.
At least you saved those cows or something like that. I think that's the moral of the story. If you didn't do anything, everybody would have drowned, but at least you saved those people, and that's worth something. Is that the moral?
I guess. I was just drawn out of that whole scene with the ghost Pa Kent.
Well,
he was building something too, by the way.
He was building some sort of a Gondorian fire pyre. The beacon is lit!
It's all like the beacons.
It's like, what the fruit is happening? I was distracted. I wasn't paying attention to what he was saying. I was just wondering this whole time, is Pa Kent really alive? Did Superman like secretly save him after he went up into the tornado?
Yeah, the tornado brought him to this mountain. That's what I was thinking. The tornado brought him to this mountain.
I thought maybe Superman snuck out the back of the bridge, and whenever Pa Kent was in the tornado, maybe he saved him, and he's been secluded on this mountaintop to keep Superman's secret or something. I thought they might actually do something silly like that because of what I've seen in this movie so far. Yeah. I don't know.
It's so stupid.
Everybody's having dream sequences and visions in real life without any transitional material to let you know that it's a dream or a vision. And because there's no transitional material, you're just questioning, what am I watching, rather than absorbing the meaning of the scene or the intent of the scene. It's distracting.
It's confusing and very distracting, yes. Bruce is mad, takes his kryptonite, starts forming kryptonite weapons, gas, grenade launcher, and a kryptonite spear. Meanwhile, he's training, getting heavy with his armor. I guess he was training for the weight of his armor. It would have been nice if there was a scene that showed some type of mechanical part of the armor where it was like hydraulics, because he moves so fluently in his armor, sir. He even jumps up at one point to jump on top of Superman. This heavy armor, able to move with his armor so magically and fluently. It would have been nice if there was some type of hydraulic mechanism in it that was able to get him to move like that or something, but the audience stupid, though. It's a comic book movie. That's their excuse.
He's hammering tires.
That's how strong he is. If you hammer tires, you can carry metallic weight all over your body.
Just sledgehammer those tires, baby, and you're ready to go. Good to go. Some tough stuff, man.
Oh.
Are we at the climax now, or have we gotten through? Like, there's so many small stuff. This movie's so schizophrenic. It's all over the place constantly and very fast paced.
The only other small things I can remember is the Batmobile jumping back into the Batcave through the lake. That's the only thing we missed.
Well, that was after the first chase sequence.
Yeah, that's the only thing we missed.
Yeah.
We pretty much gave you all the information you needed.
Well, the last thing you need before the climax is Ma Kent gets off her shift from the diner, put some trash away, and then some black SUVs pull up and take her.
Oh, and Lois gets taken too.
I was wondering, why are we taking Lois if we just took Ma Kent?
Lois turns around and sees the Hydra guy buffering the floor.
Well, is that a subway entrance?
I thought it was like a building entrance.
It looks like a mall. Like she was in an abandoned mall with the janitorial staff.
I think it was the bottom floor of the Daily Planet.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
That's supposed to be? It looked like a mall. She was just in an abandoned mall for some reason.
She's like, do I know you? Turns around, it's Hydra number 4.
And then it just immediately cuts to her in the helicopter. They don't even do the whole her getting grabbed and everything. It would have been funny if it cut to her in the helicopter. It's like, yep, I know him. Oh, that's where I know you.
So Batman armors up, turns on his bat signal to summon Superman for some reason. I guess because he established that. If your signal comes back on to get you.
I see that in the sky again, I'm going to murder you. Just like I did that warlord in Africa.
He told him, next time that signal goes up, don't come. But anyways.
But we never saw, because Jim Gordon's retired in this universe. We never saw the bat symbol put up. Yeah, he's retired.
Well, apparently he's coming back as J.K. Simmons in the Justice League movie.
Oh, man.
So Lois gets dropped off to Lex at his building, and he could just look
on the roof of this giant skyscraper, on the helipad on the roof.
And he could see across the lake. Oh, yeah. Gotham and Metropolis are like sister cities. They just
They're right
the harbor
across from each other?
They're right across the harbor from each other.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
So that's what that was? I just thought Batman just showed up in Metropolis because Luthor made a comment like, oh, he's here. I was like, oh, so he brought the bat symbol to Metropolis or something?
Mm-mm. They're sister cities because they was talking about the harbor and everything. And they landed, at the end, they landed on the island that was in between them. They had the fight scene in the island between the two cities.
This is stupid.
They're across the harbor from each other.
Clark Kent made a joke about somebody made a joke about crime in Gotham. Yeah, that's news. But if crime's such a huge problem in Gotham, wouldn't it be a huge problem in Metropolis if they're right next to each other? Wouldn't they all have the same kind of economic problems? And
the harbor.
Isn't it just technically...
The harbor separates them.
I mean, New York City is separated by a lot of water.
It's the harbor.
But it's still all... Manhattan is just part of New York City. New York City's huge. Metropolis and Gotham are like two sections of one city if there's only a harbor between them.
It's the harbor. That's all I can tell you, sir. I don't understand the geography of this place, but Metropolis could stand on a skyscraper and see the bat signal from afar if they wanted to. It's so stupid, but for visual reasons, we had to make this in this movie.
So if the kids in the audience weren't traumatized enough Lex Luthor brought Amy Adams here, tells her, oh, I'm going to have a great gladiator match between Superman and Batman. It's like, oh, how are you going to get Superman to show up? It's like, oh, I'm glad you asked. Shove! Shoves her off the skyscraper.
And Superman just telephases and catches her.
Yeah.
He didn't even, like, come down. He just there.
How does he know? He was all dressed and knew that she was going to be falling off a building?
Well, he can hear her, sir. He tunes into her sound, but he doesn't tune into his own mother's sound. Only Amy Adams' Lois Lane sound, though.
Weird.
It is weird. It's very weird.
He caught her, put her down on the ground. It's like, hey, Lois, catch you later.
Mm-hmm.
He flies up to Lex Luthor. It's like...
He's like, stay down. He's like, oh, just in time. I'm baking cookies, and turns a little cooking dial.
Little egg timer up to 60 minutes.
Kal-El, stop. Superman's like, whoa, how do you know me? He's like, I know everything.
I like he says, oh, how's Lois? She's fine. You're not. Or something like he's about to push Lex off the building.
Yeah.
I believe he would have pushed Lex off that building.
So this one, Lex explains his plan is like, yeah, so I just got Bruce Wayne, Batman, mad. I sent him all this stuff. Took me 2 years to do it. Now he hates you for no reason, and you got to go fight him because, ta-da, he shows him pictures of Mama Kent.
Mama Kent. Oh my gosh.
The pictures were very disturbing looking.
It was very disturbing. Once again, not a kid's movie. It looked like she had been badly beaten. She looked very severely pale. Something was wrong with her mouth. And then it looked like they carved the word witch onto her forehead.
At first I thought it said whore, but I was like, whoa, it was like witch. But it wasn't
he
carved.
said the mother of a demon must be a witch.
Mm-hmm. They showed him all these disturbing pictures of her.
Yeah.
But next time we see her, that's not on her face. Like, they could have had at least, like, a black smudge to where it's saying that she wiped it off or something, but no.
Was it supposed to be ink? Because it really looked like somebody carved into her forehead.
To me, it looked black. Okay. I thought it was ink.
Because of how violent and brutal this movie's been, I just assumed, oh my gosh, they just carved the word witch into her forehead. That's going to leave a scar.
Mm.
This is traumatizing. This movie, Batman vs. Superman, this movie's traumatizing, guys. Like, Temple of Doom, let your preschooler watch Temple of Doom all day. Temple of Doom's fine. They pull out a couple of hearts and some scary stuff happening in Temple of Doom, but the overall tone is still lighthearted in Temple of Doom, even when there's dark stuff.
The two heroes of this film murder people.
Flat out, man. They're not heroes. They're scary people.
So he tells her that, then it cuts to, I don't know why we needed this in this movie.
He tells Superman that.
You know what?
No, you said he tells her that. It's like Superman, as far as I know, is not transgender yet.
Oh, okay. So now it cuts to some reason we have to have this scene in the movie. Wonder Woman is looking at the drive. She sees that Bruce emailed her. It's like, I found your picture, but you're in it. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Yeah, it was a picture from the 1940s World War...
1913, I think it said.
1913?
It said 1931.
1931. Okay, from like World War I period then. Well, after World War... relative.
She's standing next to Chris Pine.
She is standing next to Chris Pine.
Yeah.
I was wondering if, because he is cast in that movie, yeah.
It's him right there. And look just like Chris Pine.
So it's the whole Captain America thing where Wonder Woman's movie's going to be just like Captain America, the First Avenger, where she's back in World War I days or something with Chris Pine. She'll just end up in modern time. She just doesn't age.
Mm-hmm.
What's her story?
She doesn't age.
She doesn't age? Okay.
She's going to go back to Themyscira. The secret Amazon island.
Age Adeline here?
She goes back to the secret island of Amazons. Who's she going to fight in her movie?
So the Lex Luthor has been keeping secret information on...
the metahumans.
So he has files, and he created special... app logos for all the files.
He created their logos, their own superhero logos. He created them. So Lex pretty much created the Justice League.
So you got the W one for Wonder Woman, then you got the C for Cyborg. You see that guy from Terminator 2.
Dr. Dyson is building Cyborg.
I'm not sure how much longer I can hold this.
He's putting the son together, then he takes a random Allspark cube and makes it for use to his son.
And Cyborg is born. Then you see perks of being a wallflower shopping, Ezra Miller shopping in a 7-Eleven. Some guy tries to hold up the 7-Eleven. Ezra Miller just uses his flash powers to zoom. It's weird because Ezra Miller looks like Kylo Ren is the Flash.
Does.
And then Aquaman. Somebody's going down to a submerged,
it was a
sunken ship.
drone just to the sunken ship and sees Khal Drago in the water. See Khal Drago in the water with a trident, and he stabs the drone, and then another drone catches him super swimming off.
He goes supersonic underwater. Cool.
That's it.
Wonder Woman just saw all the other Justice League members, except for Green Lantern.
Oh, he's supposed to be in the movie too? Oh.
I don't think so. I think they are shunning Green Lantern.
Oh, because of how they made the stupid movie?
Yeah.
Well, they keep making stupid movies. This one is no better than Green Lantern.
Oh.
So,
she's like, oh, well, the Justice League files were interesting. I think I'm going to get on a plane now.
Leave.
Wait, what?
Lex tells Superman, if you want to get your mama back, you got to go kill Batman. Bring me his head.
And we've been talking for a while, so now you have less than an hour. I'm going to get on my helicopter and fly off.
Why did Lex hate Batman, though?
He didn't hate Batman. He had confidence that Batman would be able to kill Superman.
But he knew one of them was going to win, though. So what if Superman won and killed Batman, though?
Then he proves that Superman is a monster and will fund LexCorp's initiative to create anti-Kryptonian weapons. So he wins because the government will want to kill Superman because he killed Batman. But if Batman kills
Batman's
him,
a murderer
then Batman...
and a vigilante. So wouldn't everybody praise Superman for that?
No, because people secretly like Batman, I assume. There are people out there who like what Batman does.
It just seemed weird because, like, he knows who Batman is. He knew Batman was Bruce Wayne because he was able to send him all the stuff back. Was Bruce developing better technology for him or something? Yeah, Lex knew because he told him I wrote the notes for him and sent them back to him.
How did Lex find out about that? Who else knows if Lex knows? He runs a whole company.
How did Lex find out Superman was Clark Kent? Knew Kal-El was his name.
Now, Raymond, let's be real. This is a really gritty, dark, serious movie.
Are you about to mention the glasses thing?
Yeah. Clark Kent wears glasses. Superman doesn't wear glasses. Superman walks into a Senate building with cameras everywhere with close-up shots on his face. Everybody who knows Clark Kent should be like, that's Clark Kent. There's no excuse in this universe. In this serious
Clark Kent
universe.
Shouldn't exist in this universe. It should just be Lois doing all the stuff and him as the Kal-El persona hanging out around the farm or something with nobody around. Because the ending doesn't make sense either. They're going to use that it's a comic book movie excuse. No. You're trying to ground yourself in this crazy reality. Don't treat us like we're stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Why is Lex Luthor orchestrating this whole entire thing in the first place? Why is he like this? And they briefly gave you his motivation.
Oh, yeah. His daddy used to beat him, and God didn't intervene about his daddy beating him. So he learned a long time ago that if God is all-powerful, then he's not all good. And if he's all good, then he's not all-powerful, which means he could be defeated.
Yeah, he needs to prove.
So anybody with power is pretty much evil. That's what he believes.
Power is not innocent, he tells Senator Incredible.
So he wanted to prove that Superman is the worst of the worst.
Either he's gonna kill Batman or Batman will kill him, and then they'll no longer have this false god anyway. So either way, he wins. Either he'll destroy Superman's reputation, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. They even rephrase the either you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. They just changed that. Bruce Wayne looks at, I guess, Tim Drake's Robin suit.
Oh my God. So that scene was in the movie. Something happened with Bruce, and they cut to him opening the case, looks at the bat suit, stares at it intently, walks away, then looks at it's Jason Todd's suit.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Tim Drake's the third one. My bad.
Yeah.
It's Jason Todd.
It's Jason Todd's suit. The Joker spray painted on it, walks away again, and then it cuts to some other shit. It was like, why did he go look at the suits? Why do we need a scene with him looking at the suits if he's not going to get into it and wear it and go do anything with it?
Yeah, it was completely random. He wasn't about to do anything as Batman. He just stared at the suit after saying he was going to do something as Bruce Wayne at the gala. I think it might have been before the gala. It completely had no context, that scene. And then later, they actually say something that relates to that scene about how many good people are there left and how many stay that way. That is this movie's version of either you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Because Superman says that at the end to Lois Lane. How many people are good? How many stayed that way? He says that somehow he knows that line, even though Bruce said it earlier in the movie and never said it to Superman. He just telepathically knew that that's the catchphrase of the movie before he flew off to fight Batman.
Yeah.
Hey, Lois, I'm going to have to, like, rip the head off of Batman or something. See you laters.
He said, I got to go convince him to help me. So he flies over there. He lands, and he goes, Bruce. I'm going to go with the excuse that he quickly used his X-ray vision and saw that it was Bruce Wayne under there.
Yeah.
Bruce, let's talk about this. Bruce turns on his
sonic cannons that lock him into place.
That he flips a manhole cover up, tosses pieces at him. Bruce should have probably thought, hey, maybe I should watch this manhole cover if he can pick that up.
It would have been hilarious. He just keeps walking towards Bruce. It's like, come on, Bruce. And then he trips on some Hot Wheels cars. Woo!
It was kind of like that, because the next thing was that some turrets came up and started firing at him.
It's like, come on, Bruce, I just want to talk.
And then he gave up trying to communicate with him until the very end of the fight scene.
He lasers the turrets with his eyes.
They quickly like walk up to each other and just stare at each other. He pushes him and he goes flying back.
Then he plows Batman up through a building onto the roof of the building. And it's like, stay down.
It was so slow in the beginning of this fight sequence.
Stay down. If I wanted to, you'd be dead already. It's like, maybe that's not the best way to phrase what you're trying to say, Superman.
Yeah.
Then Batman, very, very slowly, like, see this, Superman? See this? He pulls a smoke grenade. Huh? Watch the birdie. And he throws it down.
Smoke comes up. Superman goes through it, and Batman's not there no more. Somehow he stealthed it in this armor, everybody.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
And then he uses one of the gas grenades with the kryptonite gas, shoots it at Superman. Superman breathes it in. He's like, yes, breathe it in. Yes, you're going to love that. Then he starts punching him and beating him up. Superman lands on top of the roof light thing, the skylight.
Skylight, yeah.
Batman, in his armor, jumps high, at least 5 feet off the ground, to smash into Superman and go down through the building.
Superman eventually gains some of his strength back so that they can do a more even fight. Because otherwise it'd be one-sided most of the time. Either Superman's beating up on Batman or Batman's beating up on Superman. Superman just regains only a certain amount of his powers, and they have a duel all the way down the staircase. They're in some huge building with a lot of pillars and stuff. Are they in a church or something? It was just a large open space whenever they hit the ground. Batman starts whooping up on Superman. Superman's down for the count in some rubble. He attaches a grappling hook and starts flinging Superman around, knocking him into columns, through columns. Half of Batman's mask is knocked out, so you can see Ben Affleck's left eye. Batman's got the kryptonite spear, has Superman down for the count, getting ready to stab him.
Oh my God, here we go.
And then Superman's like, Martha,
gotta save Martha.
Batman's like, what? Why are you saying that name?
Why are you saying that name? Tell me why you saying that name. And then Lois runs in. We forgot to mention Lois went to Perry and was like, I need a helicopter. And she helicoptered herself over there.
Who cares?
Yeah.
She shows up where she needs to be anyway. We learned that at the end of Man of Steel when she just showed up at the Zod confrontation, even though she was halfway across town with no transportation. She could just show up anywhere. We didn't need that helicopter scene. I guess the helicopter scene was just them trying to correct that mistake from Man of Steel. Oh, she got a helicopter this time.
So she's like, it's his mother's name. And for some reason, that just broke the evil spell, like, off of Batman.
This changes everything.
Oh my God, our moms have the same name.
Oh, I guess maybe it was some sort of humanization thing. Like, if you mention somebody's name, they won't kill somebody. Or like, if you try to break down a mob mentality or something.
Sir,
you name
another
them.
thing that drew me out the fight, when Batman tied the little grappling to Superman and started dragging him, he said this to him. He was like, I bet your parents taught you that you were somebody, that you could be something. I was like, well, yeah, wouldn't you want this alien to be on the human side? What are you saying, Batman? You're saying that, yeah, his parents taught him to be a good person? His parents taught him to act human, so why are you still fighting him? Why do you want to kill him? It was stupid. Why did he say that line?
And then he says, you know what? My parents taught me something. They taught me that they were dead.
He was nuts. He was crazy. He was going crazy, sir.
He like punked himself with that line.
Batman was crazy. He was nut job in this movie.
And then Zack Snyder didn't trust the audience to remember the beginning of the movie.
You always talk about how that takes you out.
It was ridiculous.
And that took me out there too.
Everyone knows
one
Martha.
other time in the movie whenever Lois was talking to the general
About the bullet.
and it went back to the beginning of the movie.
They should have emphasized that in the moment, because I was like, how'd she get a bullet in her journal? Wait, when did that happen? I was
There was a quick shot of him shooting the ground, and it shot the ground. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It didn't shoot her while she had it like in her pocket or anything
that's
like
what I was wondering. I was like, did she
Yeah.
block a bullet with the journal?
No, it was on the ground, and they shot at it on the ground.
See, so it's like, put that journal reminder, put that actually in the tub scene where she's looking at the bullet for the first time. I was like, oh, okay, that's where she got the bullet from.
But yeah, they treat us like we're stupid.
Yeah, they don't think you can remember that Martha was the name of Bruce's parents.
How many times have you seen the Batman origin story? We know his mama's name is Martha Kent.
So they proceed to play about a half runtime version of the opening montage again for you, culminating in Thomas Wayne on the ground saying, Martha, again.
Miranda? I'm sorry.
There was one part where Batman gets stabbed, and I almost said that out loud.
He got stabbed?
Spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers. It's coming up soon.
So he threw the spear away. Superman gets up. Lex is behind all of this. He's got my mom. I'll make you a promise today. Martha won't die tonight. Then Superman is perfectly fine and able to fly away.
The reason Superman decides to trust Batman to do this is because there's a whole bunch of media coverage of electrical activity at the downed spaceship. Lex Luthor is in the downed spaceship under the dome structure, and he's building Doomsday.
Did Lois tell him this, or did he just know this?
He just knew it, I guess.
He had to go confront Lex. Then it cuts to Batman. Even though his mask was broken, he like auto-changed.
Now, wait. The Lex thing is not an immediate threat. Your mom is the immediate personal threat. For all you know, it's just an electrical problem over there at the ship. And you're really fast, Superman. Superman could be in there really fast. Just take Ma out without even killing anybody.
He just wanted to go confront Lex before the timer ran out. For some reason, we had to have that. And they needed Batman to do his scene. That's all this was about.
But if he confronts Lex without the thing, they're still going to kill him. Was he just planning to like stretch for time to try to stop Lex from calling in on the walkie-talkie?
Oh, he didn't know where his mama was, but Alfred was able to trace the phone of the Russian guy.
So
why didn't he just give that information to Superman?
Yeah.
I guess he flew off beforehand.
Superman is far more capable to get there faster and take this challenge on. I mean, it's a nice Batman sequence, I guess.
I don't think nice is the word.
No, well, not nice, but...
Intense, violent.
So...
There are other words to describe
you get the sequence from trailer number 3.
Which I thought was going to be like in the beginning of this movie. And turns out this is Batman's climax.
Yeah, this is the big thing for Batman. This is the best thing he does in the movie.
So obviously, Zack Snyder played the Arkham series video games. It just give Batman video game mode where he does
free flow combat, taking on multiple guys at once, countering and doing all sorts of crazy
He grapple hooks one guy, runs him into his fist, then he grapple hooks a crate, throws it across the room.
Oh my gosh, sir. Oh my gosh. Alfred dropped him off in the bat plane, and then he came up through the floor and started beating up all these people who were holding Ma Kent.
Before that, when he was driving, they saw the people on the ground was shooting up at him, so he started shooting at them. He blew him up with the Batwing. There's people on the ground with the turns.
Oh yeah, people were on the backs of trucks with Gatling guns shooting at the bat plane, and so he decided, okay, I'll just open fire.
I'll just murder you.
He blew them up.
Yeah,
he blew up people.
Extra murdering in this movie.
Then he flew up through the floorboards, started taking everybody down. Oh my gosh. The first thing that he did that appalled me was he was taking out guys with his fists, but then one of the guys, he grabbed the gun from the guy and then he held down the trigger. No, I don't think it was the guy who held down the trigger. I think it was Batman. Batman took the guy's gun, held down the trigger, and spun around the room. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, did he just shoot everybody in the room? He did. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What did Batman just do?
So he did that. Then you saw that one part from the trailer where he like trips the guy, makes him fall on his neck. Then one guy...
he smashes that guy's face into the ground.
Pulled out a knife. Batman somehow got the knife, pushed the guy up against the wall.
No, this is where the stab comes in. The guy stabbed Batman in the side, and so he takes the knife, pushes the guy up against the wall, and
stabs him in the chest.
He murders him with a knife. Batman murdered him.
He did like straight Jason Voorhees arm movement and stabbed the guy in the chest with the knife.
Guys, I just gotta tell you right now, everybody in the audience was taking this scene very, very seriously. Raymond and I were just appalled, and we were laughing hysterically at what we were seeing. Batman just went full psycho mode, and we were laughing crazily. And I think I heard somebody complain, like in the back, like, "What are they laughing at?" I was like, "What do you mean? What am I laughing at? Batman's murdering everybody."
He's a psychopath. I'm watching Batman turn into a psychopath. The hero is a psychopath.
Oh man, that was
murdering everyone.
no wonder there's a rated R cut of this movie, sir. There's so much violence in it.
There is.
Raymond, the grappling hook thing in the Arkham video games, the grappling hook grabs onto their pecs or something, and then he just drags them by their pecs or their clothes. This one came out the back of the guy's shoulder.
Oh yeah, it did.
That's what was so graphic. That's what I was like, oh my gosh. He shot a grappling hook through the guy's shoulder, and then it opened up so he could drag him by his shoulder.
He viciously murdered everyone.
And then he used his super strength, like you said, on that wooden crate, gigantic wooden crate of
and
grappling
threw
gun.
it at people.
Oh.
A guy came out with a grenade. Oh, he had strung a guy up and then kicked that guy in the face. And he made a pendulum towards the guy with the grenade. And that guy with the grenade dropped the grenade and then blew up.
The guy with the grenade was such a moron.
He did the show. Ooh, look what I got, Batman!
But then after he knocked the guy with the grenade on the ground, the grenade was right next to him. The guy on the grenade could have ran out the door, but instead he reached for the grenade and then it blew up in his hand. Why was he reaching for the grenade?
I think he was trying to put the pin back in, but he didn't.
What? Why would that be the thing? He'd run.
Yeah, but that was crazy though. He struck that guy up upside down, kicked that guy to swing into that grenade guy. He wasn't murdering people. That would have been cool, but I was just out of the scene.
And then one criminal was like, oh my God, this guy's gonna murder everybody. I must stand up for justice and stop Batman. And so he put a gun right up to the back of Batman's head and pulled the trigger, bang, bang. And somehow Batman was unfazed.
Unfazed. I don't know if it's because I watched the Daredevil season 2 recently where he got shot and it stopped the bullet, but his armor broke.
Point blank.
This was right there. Like, Punisher was like away from this guy. Sorry, he was away. He was in the back of his neck with it. He didn't get knocked out or die.
Multiple bullets too. Multiple shots fired.
He's unstoppable.
He's got a bulletproof cowl. They're even shooting him not in the cowl, in what looks like leathery spandex.
Mm-hmm.
They shot him in that and it was bouncing off. He's bulletproof, like you said.
Super armor.
Oh man. And then after he took out everybody in that room, it cuts to the villains and it's quiet, and I knew the audience hated us at this point, Raven, because the looks on those villains' faces like, what's going on out there? We were just laughing like, oh my gosh, he's gonna murder you two next. You guys better run.
So the guy had a flamethrower.
And the audience behind us was like, why are these two jerks in the front of the theater laughing at this? I could feel the tension in the audience because we were laughing and it was quiet at this point.
Why are these people accepting this?
Why is this okay?
This isn't okay. So anyways,
what does Batman do to the first guy? How does he take out the first guy?
Grabs his LMG and points it at the guy with the flamethrower who's about to flamethrower Ma Kent. The guy was like, I'll kill her. And Batman was like, I know. So he shoots the guy's gas tank. He blows up, but Batman quickly jumps on top of Ma Kent and protects her.
Because he's got a fireproof suit, too.
Oh, well, if it's bulletproof, it's got to be fireproof. It's probably space-proof, too. It's probably everything-proof. He looks at Ma Kent and goes, I'm a friend of your son's.
I could tell the cape gave it away.
I don't think anybody laughed in the audience at that. I think it was supposed to be funny. I think like one person might have went, huh? The audience didn't give out the big roar of laughter. Our whole audience might have been just upset that they couldn't go see the 2D IMAX, maybe. Our whole audience was just angry at this point.
This is such a long climax. Oh, frick.
So...
Okay, Lex Luthor back at the downship says, ha, I created an abomination born out of blood that the council doesn't like, and we created a monster. It's time for your Doomsday, Superman. So Doomsday breaks out. Superman tries to fight Doomsday, takes Doomsday all the way up into space.
This is... Doomsday does nothing wrong in this movie, ladies and gentlemen. He's just born, and I think he might have tried to take a swing at Lex, and Superman stops him. And then they go up, they fight a little bit. He lands on top of the LexCorp building. Then the U.S. government starts shooting at him. He creates the radiation to protect himself.
Anderson Cooper takes the time to tell you, good thing downtown is pretty much abandoned. Thanks, Anderson Cooper. And and Wonder Woman's watching the news on the plane.
And then she decides to leave, and then lady's like, Miss Prince, come back. So Superman takes him into outer space and tell him what happens next, sir. Tell him this crazy sequence.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. This is completely mental, what is happening right now. The U.S. government, for some reason, decides that their only option right now, after Superman has taken Doomsday off the planet, Doomsday, who has not actually done anything to harm anybody, like Raymond says, they decide we have to nuke him.
They started firing missiles at him, and he absorbed the missile's energy and created this wave to protect himself.
Oh, because of that incident?
I guess they just saw Superman fighting him and just assumed, oh, he's a bad guy.
They fire a nuclear missile. It's like, oh, it's above the atmosphere. It'll be safe.
Like, it's out of range. That was a big explosion. Like, Batman saw it. It was like the whole sky lit up. It became daytime at one point.
What is the logic of just resorting to shooting a nuclear missile at something?
I don't want to defend this movie, but I will argue that they were still in shock from 2 years ago about the aliens invading. They just want to hurry up and quickly get rid of the problem.
It just seems so absurd that you would jump to a nuclear missile being your first
Nobody
option.
said, hey, this is 2 years ago all over again. Okay, we got to take them out immediately.
At least that line would have helped, yes.
But yes, it's pretty absurd that they just went like that.
In the Avengers, they were going to nuke Manhattan because it looked like the situation was out of their control and they wanted to contain it before it spread.
That was an invasion of like an alien army. This is just one alien.
This is just one guy. And Superman
who didn't even do nothing yet.
He didn't do anything yet, and Superman had it under control. He took it out into outer space this time. Superman learned from Man of Steel. It's like, man, people hate it when I fight in the city, so he took him into space.
Doomsday ain't do nothing to nobody at all. He didn't attack any kind of civilians in this movie.
He ain't wronged you, and he's no longer on your planet. But you decide to shoot a nuclear missile. This is a desperate situation. He's not on our planet anymore, and he hasn't done anything. Fire the nukes!
He might go get back up, even though he just came out of his ship. But he was obviously created by this psychopath, Lex Luthor.
And so the girl who thought Superman was cute at the end of the Man of Steel,
she shows up.
She was like, oh, sir, Projectile 1 landed back on Earth in the bay.
On some kind of island that's abandoned.
Rikers Island. That's a prison island, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's in New York.
That's in the Gotham universe.
Is Rikers Island in Gotham universe?
I don't know.
It landed between Metropolis and Gotham.
Projectile 2 is not moving. Projectile 2 is Superman. And then another disturbing image for kids. They cut to Superman's dead body floating in space, and his face is like a skull. It's disturbing.
It's like he's been drained of everything in his body. Like all of his insides have been drained. He looks as if he's just been zombified, like a dead zombie or something. Yeah, yeah, his face right. He's covered his mouth doing the appalled thing. It's hilarious. It's like, yeah, they just cut to this very disturbing image of a dead Superman.
So Batman's like, wow, I better get closer to this thing.
Yeah. He's like, but other weapons can't stop it, Alfred. We need to get kryptonite weapons. Where's the staff? I left it back at the thing. I gotta go get it. Okay, we didn't explain this stupid thing right here.
Okay, what are you about to explain? Because I have something stupid. Lois? Oh my gosh. What the is happening? What is happening?
Why did they make this like this?
Batman and Superman ran off to do their own thing. Lois is back there with the staff back in that warehouse they were fighting in.
She picks it up.
The Kryptonian staff.
Dumps it in the water. But then she knew, okay, they need to get it back somehow. Somehow she knew they needed it to fight the creature. And then she goes back for it. How does she know?
Why did she put it there in the first place? I don't understand the logic.
I'm guessing to protect Superman.
So I'm going to drown this thing?
Drown it.
I thought it was going to be an excuse for Aquaman to show up with the staff or something. Oh, is Aquaman going to show up?
I probably would have preferred that better.
Okay, the next stupid thing, one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Doomsday is currently like out in the bay on Rikers Island or whatever, away from all the city and population. Batman says, oh, we left the staff back in Gotham. Instead of saying to Alfred, I need to fly off and get the staff. Instead, he's like, I need to lure Doomsday back to the city.
But then they throw in this line.
Batman says, I need to lure Doomsday back to the city.
He says, I need to lure him back to the Bay Area. It's abandoned. They threw in that line. He knew it was abandoned because that's where he fought Superman
the first time he said back to the city.
He did. No, he did. And he said, I need to lure him back to Gotham so I can get the staff.
Why did he not just fly off and get the staff? Doomsday hasn't done anything yet.
Well, sir.
He's
a monster.
The only person that's causing fire to rain for the sky is the U.S. government. They set the sky ablaze. I know it was us who scorched the skies.
He's a monster, sir. Look how he looks. And looks are everything. He has to die. But yeah, why would I bring him back to Gotham instead of go get the staff myself? So they could give Lois something to do. I don't know.
Did we learn nothing from the Bumblebee monster in Power Rangers in Space?
No, sir. They don't. They don't learn anything.
You're a monster with a heart. Oh, I don't want to hurt people.
Let's think of the logic here about Doomsday right now. He was just born. He's probably freaking out scared. There's a super guy attacking him. There's another guy in an airplane attacking him. He don't know what's going on right now. He's trying to defend himself. I'm on Doomsday side throughout this whole thing right now.
Picking on this poor guy, shooting nukes at him.
This newborn baby doesn't know what's going on.
Those choppers, why would you open fire on something that's not necessarily hostile?
He didn't fire at them first. He didn't fire at them first.
Yeah.
Maybe if he fired at them first, it would have made sense.
Doomsday did not initiate a fight. He was just mad at Lex for creating him.
He took a swing at Lex.
Lex deserved it, though.
Yeah, Lex deserved it, so...
Who cares?
I'm still on Doomsday's side at this point in the movie. So anyways, Batman, he starts firing his laser eyes and mouth and nose thing at Batman.
Okay, I thought you were saying Batman was firing his laser.
No. Doomsday starts firing his laser eye, nose, and mouth laser.
Doomsday had evolved after the nuke. He got on the ground and he evolved and got more spikes and stuff.
Yeah, fire laser at his whole face like the Destroyer from Thor. Shot down the Batplane. The Batplane lands, the Batman goes, oh shit.
Doomsday fires at Batman.
And then...
Batman's got nowhere to go.
And it hits something, and then it's Wonder Woman, and then the beat kicks in. I didn't get excited though.
That was a lot of early reviewers said that their audiences all cheered or got really excited when Wonder Woman showed up and blocked with her gauntlets.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been the moment.
But we didn't.
Our audience didn't either. It's not just us. The audience didn't react. It was a packed house.
And I'm glad they didn't clap at the end of this movie, by the way. We've had our audience clap at the end of stupid movies before, and they didn't. So I think they're catching on with this one. They don't want to be treated like they're stupid anymore. Wonder Woman showed up. That's when everybody got excited, pulled out her sword.
Well, in theory, that's when everybody's supposed to get excited.
You knew it was coming, though, so that's why I didn't get excited. Because she leaves the plane, so it's like, okay, she's going suit up.
They overemphasized that Wonder Woman was in this movie.
Yeah.
So Wonder Woman, yeah, we knew she was coming. No surprise. What would have been a surprise is if all the other characters who were on the files showed up to help. I was expecting Aquaman to show up. I was expecting everybody to show up.
This is Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
Where's the justice?
That would have been a big surprise.
There's no justice. This is Dawn of murder everything. So she shows up.
Leaps across.
She starts fighting Doomsday. Superman gets healed by the sun and comes back to life. His face gets healed. Flies in, him and Wonder Woman to take it on Doomsday.
Batman's just trying to stay out of it.
Yeah. Batman's like, I'm not strong enough for this.
He's just grappling around trying to get away from the blast. Lois gets trapped. Rubble falls on her while she's in the water trying to get the staff back. Somehow Superman, during all this chaos, hears her
he's
banging.
About to attack Doomsday again and then just hears it.
He goes, he saves her, she coughs up the crap, then he dives in to get the staff. And then she's like, oh my god, he went in there with the kryptonite, somebody save him.
He floated back to the top and she pulled him out this time.
Resuscitate him. She threw the staff away so he would be better.
And then they have a conversation.
He's like, sorry Lois, I gotta do it. And then she's like, no, don't do it. I'm like, do what?
Wonder Woman cuts off Doomsday's hand at one point, so he grows a spike right there where his hand used to be.
Wonder Woman lassos Doomsday. Superman's like, sorry Lois, I gotta do this.
Batman fires his last kryptonite gas canister at him.
Weakens him so he doesn't break out of the lasso immediately. Then Superman, who was struggling just to hold it and walk, flies off with the kryptonite staff and stabs Doomsday. Doomsday ain't going down like no punk. And stabs Superman back in the chest.
Then Superman grabs one of his spikes and pushes the thing in some more.
Then Doomsday self-destructs.
I didn't get... Okay, it was inside his body. Wouldn't that be affecting him already? For some reason, he had to push it all the way through his body and came out the other side of his body where the kryptonite part isn't touching anymore.
It was just for filmmaking emphasis. Like,
that's stupid.
An extra, like, twist of the knife. A twist of the knife.
Why didn't he twist it and make it go somewhere instead of pushing it all the way through? But for some reason, that killed Doomsday and he just stops moving and he falls down with Superman in his hands. Batman comes in, takes Superman by the cape, wraps him up in his cape, lures him down to Wonder Woman and Lois.
You said lures.
Lures, sorry.
Lowers, yeah.
Lowers him down. Lois is crying. Then they have
yeah, because once again, disturbing image. Superman's got a huge gory stab wound in his chest.
It's like, okay, are you going to expose it to some sunlight and heal him again? Or
yeah, maybe try that first? No.
Funeral time. So America's having a funeral for him, even though they were debating about whether or not they should trust him or not. They just decided to give him this soldier-like funeral.
When nothing has changed about what caused this to happen, this is still Superman's technology that brought Doomsday here in the first place. So Superman sacrificing himself to stop the technology is not necessarily heroic. I think a lot of people would think that's just balance. Okay, you caused it. Serves you right.
Well, I guess because Lois had the information about the bullet, the proof that Lex was manipulating things, so I guess that was brought up too, that Lex...
to clear up his name. Well, we never got that in conclusion in the movie.
We didn't.
That seems pretty important to clear Superman's name so everybody knows he's a hero. Like maybe her reading a speech on the news or something, and Ma Kent looking on to know that her son was seen as a hero.
Well, that would extend the ending too long. They couldn't have the extended ending like that, so...
The ending was already dragging on, and it was very depressing.
They had... We'll get to the general discussions.
It was so depressing. We just sat through this very brutal, mean-hearted, overlong movie.
Attacking the monster for no reason.
And then Superman's dead. And everybody in the audience is like, what the fruit am I watching right now? They're having funeral processions. Washington, D.C. has a special one. They make a silver memorial, I guess in the same park, or maybe at Washington, D.C. now, silver Superman Hope.
It was in Metropolis.
Okay.
They put it in the same area where the ship is.
And then they have a Clark Kent's
funeral as well.
Funeral and
There's a bunch of people there. And then I thought to myself, gee, this would have made sense if like everybody in Smallville knew who he was.
Yeah, if he had saved Paul Kent, and then everybody in Smallville stood up for him in Man of Steel, like, we won't tell nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it should have been.
So this made no sense with all these people dressed in black at the end of this funeral.
And they show a newspaper article about, coincidentally, Clark Kent died.
Missing? Yeah, he's missing or
something.
something.
They didn't even say he's missing. They said he died.
He dead?
Yeah, they said he died in some sort of accident while he was reporting something. Coincidentally, Clark Kent died.
He wears glasses. Superman doesn't wear glasses, Andrew.
Mm-hmm. Then to make you feel even more depressed, Lois Lane is looking at a bunch of planets in
a
Clark
replica of the solar system.
In Clark Kent's room, lying on his bed, his boyhood room. Ma Kent comes in and is like, hey, Clark wanted to surprise you with this manila envelope. And then she dumps out the contents. It's an engagement ring for Lois Lane. So people in the audience were like, oh, no.
I didn't care. Their relationship wasn't developed enough from the first movie or this movie to get married.
There was a wake and Superman's dead bodies in there.
Yeah, they lured him in. Wonder Woman and Bruce start talking to each other about we're going to need each other. Why? Because
I wasn't strong enough to save you, Superman. He says something like,
he said,
I failed you.
Stupid. Yeah. He's like, I failed him in life. I won't fail him in death. You hated him the entire movie. And then your moms have the same first name, and all of a sudden, y'all became besties. It makes no sense. It's stupid. There was no connection for them. There was no way they reconciled. It just was an instant reconciliation. Okay, so yeah, that's what he said. Tells Diana, we're going to need to find the rest of them. Help me find the rest of them. We're going to need them.
And we're going to need to fight. Wonder Woman's like, what do you mean fight? How do you know that? He's like, I just have a feeling. And then he turns, and I swore he was going to look into the camera. It looked like he was about to look into the camera like, I just have a feeling. And then he looks like, yeah, audience.
Y'all saw the scenes already. So then it cut to Lex in jail. He got his head shaved. Batman goes to visit Lex in jail.
The cops are in on it. The cops let him interrogate him.
I thought he killed those cops because he's been murdering everybody.
Maybe he did murder those cops. I'm sorry. And then he installed red light bulbs.
He turned off. I think he turned off the power, and it was the emergency power. That's what it was, because the emergency lights were on in the back. And he was like, if you do something, I'll brand you with my brander.
He's got a hot battering on his fist, a battering searing knuckle
thing that he uses to brand everybody with. And Lex tells him,
the secret's out, man.
The bell's been rung.
You can't stop it. Everybody's going to come to the show now that the god's dead.
So apparently Lex knows about Darkseid too. He's coming for us. So it cuts to Lex's home where he talked to the Senator about his painting, which showed the angels fighting the demons below. So he turned it upside down and it shows the demons on top now, because demons comes from the sky.
Batman punched at Lex, but he hit the wall instead.
They disappeared. And then they cut back to the funeral, and then you saw Lois pick up some dirt and throw it on the coffin. And then
the final shot of the movie, we're down 6 feet under.
And the chess piece starts moving.
The dirt starts levitating above the coffin.
Big whoop.
It's basically the X-Men 3 ending where Magneto gets his powers back. You're not sure if the chess piece moves.
It starts levitating and it cuts to black.
Superman's not dead. Made you look. Ha ha.
Dirty crook.
There was no point in doing this. Why would Superman be dead if you're going to have a Justice League movie?
Just throw him into the sun or some shit. That was the end, everybody.
All right.
General
thoughts.
I'll let you go first. I've gone first many a time. Oh.
This is just an ugly and mean movie. That's my problem with it. Gratuitously brutal, and it's somehow simultaneously more dark, gritty, and brutal than the Dark Knight trilogy, but at the same time, more fantastical than Batman and Robin. I don't know how it pulls it off. It's like both extremes combined.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah, I totally understand how there's a rated R cut coming out on DVD. This movie feels like a rated R movie in tone. The subject matter is never lighthearted at all. It is always played deadly serious. The color correction is very, very dark and morose and ominous, and the tone is just, well, dark, but that's undescriptive, I guess. The pacing of the movie is weird. It's 2.5 hours long, but they can't really transition between scenes if they want to keep it at 2.5 hours. So they're just cutting really quickly to random stuff that's not really connecting to one another at all in this movie. You're just jumping from something like the Ma Kent conversation with Clark Kent on the farm. It felt like there was a nice little build-up where Clark showed up, said hello to his mother, and there was a touching reunion, and then he expressed his concerns about what's happening, about how he's being portrayed in the media. But instead of having the beginning of that scene and that touching moment, we just cut to him already there, and the mother's just saying, Clark, don't pay attention to what they say. And I guess technically that's good editing in a way, because they always say that good editing, you got to get in after the scene started and get out before it's over. They recommend that in editing. Just come in at the peak time of the scene. So that's good editing in a sense, but everything just feels disconnected, and a lot of reviewers are saying it, and I'll agree, the movie is a total mess. And all these separate plot lines about this conspiracy that Lois is looking into, it's all pointless because it all turns out to be Lex. It's all so complicated for no reason because it's all Lex. Why are we doing all these complicated tangents and sidebars and characters if it's just going to be one guy? I don't understand. Raymond was right earlier that the only interesting plot element was how the world views Superman. His arc could have been interesting as a Man of Steel sequel. Well, I didn't enjoy Man of Steel that much. I couldn't agree that there was an interesting Superman story in here. Batman has no arc. Batman's just a mean, psychopathic, cold-blooded killer who is just blindly led by stupidity. He's like, oh, Superman was fighting another alien and he wasn't thoughtful enough to leave the city. Therefore, he's probably the enemy and I need to take him down. He's plotting the whole movie to take Superman down just because of what he saw in Metropolis, and not necessarily for anything that Superman did. I guess Superman did murder a whole entire African village, which is implied. Batman's just angry for no reason. His whole mission is to take down Superman, and Superman doesn't want to take down Batman. They try to introduce him being concerned about Batman as Clark Kent, but Superman has no beef with Batman. They have to trick Superman into doing this, or else they're going to kill people that Superman cares about. They had to trick him into even going to the fight. So there's no real animosity or conflict between these two. The conflict is one-sided. Batman hates Superman. Superman doesn't really give a crap. Superman just wants to save people.
Superman was more worried about what the people thought of him. The people of the world thought of him. Batman just, assuming there's no assumption, he did see it. Batman saw the message General Zod sent in Man of Steel, where he took over every electronic. Batman knew who the villain was. So why would you think Superman was the villain? It doesn't make sense. He was supposed to be on this tangent because of some guy he worked with named Jack, but nobody cared.
Know Jack.
We don't know Jack. If you're gonna
know Jack.
if you're gonna do this, God forbid for me saying this, I don't want to, but let's put a character in there that we know, like Lucius Fox, maybe.
Yeah, somebody we care about.
Yeah, so that way we can understand his motivation for doing this, and we already know Lucius Fox provides him with all his stuff. Okay, Batman's upset because Lucius died in this. We don't care about Jack. Jack's stupid. Batman is angry for no reason.
Jack didn't leave the building.
It's stupid.
For no reason.
It's the ridiculous
Jack just
thing.
wanted to die.
He did.
He just wanted to die. He just stayed in the building after Bruce told everybody to evacuate.
And they hammer you over the head with trying to correct the mistakes of Man of Steel, and this movie made complete new ones. I'm already not a big fan of heroes just fighting each other randomly. I can understand the egos getting in the way thing, which we had in the first Avengers with Thor and Iron Man. This was just Batman just hates him, just wants to murder Superman because he's an alien. Batman's a racist, pretty much. Just in general, this movie just upset me, and it did hurt me to my core here. Batman's my favorite superhero, and people are gonna defend this saying, oh, this is the Frank Miller's version of Batman where he kills people in that. Frank Miller's Batman doesn't work with the Justice League. We just saw his origin story in the beginning of this, where he's not supposed to kill because he saw his parents killed in front of him. This isn't supposed to be that Batman. He's designed after that Batman. The costume is nice, but this, it's disgusting, and it doesn't separate him from the evil people. There's no story of the people and the heroes. Like when we watch these superhero movies, it's supposed to be about the people and the hero, and it's not about that. It's just these two monsters just want to fight each other, or just one of them wants to fight the other one because he's got power. And Lex Luthor is not any Lex Luthor we've ever seen before. He's just a psychopath. I saw somebody mentioned it before in the review. He's like Lex Luthor mixed with the Joker. I don't know what they're trying to go for here. He's crazy. He's manipulating people to do his dirty work, and it was stupid. And Batman doing all that craziness, just killing people. I just didn't like it. It's not a superhero movie. And somebody made a video, I forgot what his name was, but he made a video after when Man of Steel came out. It was like a movie about rock stars instead of heroes. And this one, it's not even about rock stars. It's about a fight club, pretty much. This is a UFC with superpowers, pretty much. It's ridiculous. It's not a superhero movie anymore. Everybody's murdering everybody. Batman only saves somebody who's important to Superman at the end. They just auto become friends because their mothers have the same first name. Why? The way this movie should have been, like Andrew said, that the ending was so dragged out is because going into this, I was assuming that the first half of the movie was going to be the build-up. In the middle of the movie, we're going to have the fight between Batman and Superman, and then we're going to have some downtime between them trying to figure out why they did this and the reconciliation, and then we're going to have the big Doomsday battle at the end. But the movie just went for all this build-up, them fighting, and then the Doomsday battle. They had to hurry up and quickly reconcile, and it was just ridiculous. They're treating the audience like they're stupid. The whole him talking about his dad thing, and his dad tries to come back to him as a Force ghost and talk to him about things. And
Superman's dad.
Yeah, Superman's dad. You're trying to portray the Jonathan Kent from the comic books and other media that we've seen him in before, who supported Kal-El into becoming Superman, but he wasn't like that in Man of Steel. Don't try to make us think he was. We know he wasn't. This movie treated us like we were stupid, and it didn't care.
In addition to everything we've said about the darker tone, dirty brutality, and the seriousness of it all, there's also something else that makes it more serious and adult, and that's the whole government aspect and terrorist organizations and stuff that they incorporate into the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really want to see a Superman movie in our world right now where the government would interfere?
Launched a nuke.
Oh man, a terrorist is pointing a gun to Lois Lane's head. I don't want to see that.
They market this stuff to be real world based, but it's not. Because you made something dark and gritty doesn't make it the real world. Human interactions make things real, and human emotions is what makes people believe that it's real. Like Andrew said, this is just dark, gritty version of a Joel Schumacher Batman movie. I mean, Lex got all the files on them with their logos. Really? How does he know Superman's real name and all that? It's ridiculous. It really is. I actually prefer another Joel Schumacher movie over this. Is it too late for him to come back? Seriously.
You could probably re-edit this into a Joel Schumacher type tone. You just change the music up a bit in the sound effects. You could probably turn this into a lighter-hearted, brutal movie.
I don't know why there's no humor at all. Humor is another thing that makes people believe that it's real.
Humor is human.
Yeah, it's a human thing. It's supposed to...
You got the Hume.
Yeah.
The Hume.
It's a natural part of humanity, so why wouldn't it be any kind of humor?
That's why I liked Alfred. He's the only one who had any sort of humor. Like,
Alfred was the only one.
Could crack jokes about Bruce Wayne. Is like, yes, Mr. Wayne, I see that. Oh, you could only dream, Alfred. And then he sips on his scotch. Is like, the guy's human.
Yeah, about
he's the best character in this movie.
A metropolis woman to make an honest man out of you.
Yeah.
Your dreams, Alfred. And he was like, the next generation of Wayne probably aren't going to have any wine, assuming there'll be a next generation of Waynes or something like that.
Yeah.
He's literally only a good part of the movie.
Jeremy Irons.
This is ridiculous.
Good job, Jeremy Irons.
I don't understand why this stuff continued to be made. I saw they snuck in Christopher Nolan was an executive producer on this one still. They didn't put his name on the marketing. Maybe he told them, don't put my name on the marketing.
Yeah,
he probably watched the movie and told them, don't put my name on the marketing.
I don't want my name on this.
I don't blame him.
Well, he's probably involved because they actually shot IMAX sequences for this movie, and we couldn't see the IMAX version because it was sold out. Well, I didn't want to wait until a later IMAX show.
It probably wouldn't have made any difference.
It was just 30 minutes of the movie where the frame would open up at the top and the bottom, and it would look a little crisper.
I don't understand how... Is it the audience fault? Is it just our fault that we allow this to happen?
It'll depend on how much audiences respond to this. There's an early disparity between what the critics are saying about this movie. The critics really don't like this movie and they think it's a mess. And audiences are really enjoying this movie, apparently.
Are you sure?
Well, that's what the initial thing seems like.
Tomato meter, it was still a little rotten for the audiences as well.
Okay, maybe that's just Warner Brothers trying to control the narrative. Like, oh, audience are still enjoying this movie. Ignore the critics. They didn't even do that Dark Knight Returns speech that Batman's supposed to do whenever he defeats Superman or whatever. This is your one opportunity to do that, I thought. Just remember that I beat you or whatever the fruit.
Oh, never mind. Audience score is at a 75%. Why? I don't understand how people just... I've had this argument with certain people before about their fandoms and whatnot, and, somebody will give you something and you just eat it up when it's terrible. Well, my favorite superhero, Batman, they just gave me this, and it's disgusting, and I'm appalled by it, and I don't want it. I don't understand why audiences are eating something up like this. It's because we've craved that Batman-Superman movie for so long, since the 90s. We've all craved it, and now we finally got it, and people are just eating it up. Is that what this is?
Is it... I hate to say this. They always talk about how people don't like fun anymore, and they like badass. This is promising them everything that Marvel gives them, but without Marvel's fun. Now it's badass and dark and gritty. Is that what's going on here? Are people just attaching to this because of the lack of humor? Because it's dark and taking itself too seriously? And it's brutal and almost R-rated?
Why do they like this kind of stuff?
Even this movie had to inject a little bit of humor the first time Wonder Woman shows up with Batman and Superman. Like, is she with you? I thought she was with you. It's a little bit fun and cheesy. They had a
conversation beforehand, like while she was standing there, and then they asked that question.
Yeah, they know.
This is the most depressing thing I've seen, and this is really putting a knot in my stomach about superhero movies in general. I don't know what to expect from Civil War at this point. I don't mean to jump into that conversation.
Yeah, I don't want to go into that conversation. Yeah. We'll continue on this one. I will say the marketing for this movie is completely false advertising. Well, it's not completely false advertising because everything that's in the trailer is in the movie. The tone is completely different from all three of those trailers. Well, maybe the first trailer, the teaser trailer, that one had the darkest tone. That one was closest. This is not trailer number 2 or trailer number 3 in any way. That made it look like it was energetic and was going to be fun and that you could take your kid to see it and stuff like that.
Yeah, superhero movie genre was supposed to be for people of all ages. And it's supposed to teach you about being greater than what you are, doing something good. This isn't that. This isn't something for children to watch.
The Dark Knight is more lighthearted than this movie.
Exactly. Yeah. There's humor in that.
I really prefer the Dark Knight trilogy universe.
Yeah, I'm so ready to watch Dark Knight.
That one found the perfect middle ground, just like Marvel kind of has found the perfect middle ground between fun and serious. Batman Begins trilogy had the same amount, in my opinion, as Marvel did.
You can't have fun anymore. You have to be badass. Wasn't even badass, like you're saying. It was cruel and ridiculous.
It was a very mean-spirited movie. Very negative and pessimistic about our society, our values, and how we would treat a hero in real life. Our society is just negative, very mean-spirited, and the media just rips apart really good people. Mm-hmm. This movie is just like a very sadistic commentary on our current society rather than an enjoyable superhero movie. Fantastical, dark and gritty, with elements of the real world intertwined. And I don't think our world is that this dark.
No, I think they're creating a fantasy, dark reality world that they believe is our real world.
This is a horrible world. Is there anything worth saving in this world?
People go to the movies to escape this world, and you're bringing them into an even worse world.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some positive things to say about this.
And like I said, the disturbing images, even though the movie's marketed towards kids, the skull face of Superman, Batman just constantly murdering people, and
the bat monster eating him for some reason in his dream.
That bat monster, yeah, that was insane. The kid literally said he was scared in the theater. Well, he stuck it out. And he was okay. And then terrorist attacks. Like, you see traumatic images of the Capitol being blown up. They blew up Washington, D.C., Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Huge terrorist attack, a bomb.
Superman just stood in there and just watched people burn to death because he's powerless to do anything about it.
Superman standing in slow motion watching people burn alive.
What kind of bomb was that? Should have just blew up like a section of the building? Like, it blew up like all of it, pretty much.
This is just very, like I already said, it's pessimistic, almost negative brainwashing for kids who might come see this movie.
It's not a superhero movie at all.
There's nothing to inspire in this movie at all.
It could have been. Superman had something like that trying to go on. Still trying to find out his balance between God and hero or whatever. I would have liked a sequel for Man of Steel where we can have that story arc so it can actually make Man of Steel a better movie, since everybody likes to say, well, he's just starting out. Well, now was the time for us to have Superman finding his way on his journey movie, and we couldn't have that because of all this. And then Batman.
People say Ben Affleck's Batman is the best thing about this movie.
That's
completely
false.
And they really want a Batman movie.
That's completely false. I've heard that too, and I've seen that. People say he's so great and Batman's amazing. No, this had brainwashed people. Batman is murdering people in this movie. This is ridiculous. This is a Batman that we know. Batman's not supposed to murder anybody. He's not supposed to use guns and shoot people around the room. He's supposed to be against that kind of stuff. And he's no better than the criminals he's going after. Whoever the villain is in the next Batman movie, that's who I'm rooting for. Take down this psychopath. I'm rooting for Joker. And like I said, Doomsday didn't do anything. He didn't attack no innocent civilians. He stood on a building. He got fired up on. He activated a wave. I'm sure it was to defend himself, if we're going by nature creature logic here. Like you say, it's mean-spirited. It's just, okay, he looks like a monster, let's attack him. This movie's about bullies, pretty much. Super bullies, the movie. That's what this is. That's disgusting. This is what the genre is going to be now? It's disgusting. I don't understand how hardcore DC fans could defend this. I think they should be appalled.
I think maybe they're just happy to get anything.
Okay, we're getting our movies now. Yay. And I think that you should say, no, this is ridiculous. Stop it. Today I watched the Justice League War movie and Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, and those had adult themes in it too, and it was intense and a little bit bloody, but they were having fun as well. These cartoonish movies did justice to the characters. This movie doesn't do justice to any of the characters. I was against Ben Affleck playing Batman, and at this point I still am against Ben Affleck playing Batman. He does an okay job as Bruce Wayne to me. I don't accept his Batman. People are saying that, oh, he is the Batman. No.
His actions overshadow the fact that I think he's decent. I think he's decent in the role, but it's tainted by his actions in this movie, what he does to people, in my opinion. I thought he was okay, and I actually thought it was really cool seeing him for the first time in the shadows and how scary he was, but
until he turned to a psychopath, started murdering people.
Yeah, and I like the sections of the fighting where he's just punching people and not stabbing them or shooting them through the shoulder with a grappling hook or blasting them with a light machine gun and blowing them up like they're in the Division or something.
I'm trying to think of something positive. I like the costume designs. I like Batman's costume. I always wanted to see the gray and black costume and finally got it. Sucks it was in this movie, but hey, you finally got that. Good to see instead of just an all black costume. They did change Superman's costume a bit. I noticed they put a little bit more yellow towards the belt area, which is good because I didn't like the way it was in Man of Steel. Well, they were only two who wore costumes, I guess. You're trying to go with this real world thing here, but you're trying to, for things that you don't want to explain, you want to use it's a comic book movie excuse. It's like, how is he moving around in that suit like that armored suit that he has? You didn't show any kind of mechanical thing, nothing hydraulics that he was able to use.
No fun suiting up sequence?
No, sir. Well, he immediately takes it off and has on his regular costume with the thing.
That was ridiculous. The guy's got 12 minutes to get across town, and then 2 minutes later, it's 10 minutes left, and he's in the bat plane with a new suit on. Did he just slide up a pole onto the bat plane like 1960s Batman, and he got a new suit or something?
Speaking of Batman.
You want to talk about that?
The Lego Batman movie trailer was amazing.
Oh, man.
I saw there was another one from the studio that brought you Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, Batman vs. Superman, and the Lego movie. Give you this one.
I didn't like the one they released online, the one you're talking about.
You didn't like that? I would love that one because he was
the title.
What happened?
The title card part was okay, but I didn't find the microwave sequence funny.
Oh.
Well, obviously you did because you're laughing.
It's like 20. Oh, who does that? Because I do that sometimes. That's why I thought it was funny.
This one in the theater was much funnier, in my opinion. It started off a little.
They showed the clips of the movies and the TV show.
It was a little sluggish, but then Alfred comes in and talks about how we've done this before.
Alfred saves the day. I've seen you go through all these periods.
And then the animation of Batman on the floor complaining, I don't want it.
His little Lego body is flipping with his hand not moving. Oh, well, at least we got some enjoyment out of tonight with that trailer.
So the animation and making fun of previous Batman movies were the two things that really landed in that trailer. The audience really responded well to it.
At least we got that.
We got the international trailer for Ghostbusters that we reviewed another time. I guess we don't need to talk about that. No.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Oh, you think we've covered pretty much everything? Well, I'm sure there's more things to cover. It's a 2.5 hour long movie. But in general, I think we've said our piece.
We've said pretty much everything you need to know about this movie. Lex Luthor is crazy.
Yeah, you already said that. No need to go on that.
Everybody's crazy. Batman's crazy. Superman had a story that we could have got behind, but it just get drops. I'm just recapping. I'm recapping for everyone, so everybody who doesn't remember knows. They can just go back. I'm sure they can rewind, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm just saying a couple of those points we've said like 4 or 5 times already. They'll be edited down to 2 times or something.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Oh, I didn't need to give a rating, huh?
Oh, the rating.
Oh, God.
Now, Raymond, what do we got? Is this a 1 star or is this a red X?
Oh, see? Oh. The fanboy in me wants to give it the 1 star. I like the costume designs in it. And it's something I do want to try and revisit. That's a 2 star, but I'm going to have to go with a 1 star because this is something I don't want to revisit anytime soon. This is something that needs to be seen later on down the road when I am jolly.
Do you think that the 30-minute longer R-rated director's cut could fix it for you?
There's a 30-minute longer R-rated director's cut.
That's going to be on the Blu-ray.
Why is it 30 minutes longer? Do we know?
There's like a side plot with Hunger Games, the lady who stripped down in the elevator.
Jenna Malone?
Jenna Malone, thank you.
Oh, yeah. She was playing Barbara Gordon.
And she's supposed to be Oracle and being in his ear during a mission or something?
No. It was too much into this movie already. It was so much jam-packed to this movie, and it was just, it didn't need to be in it.
Maybe it'll give some scenes more breathing room and transitions between stuff. Maybe that fixes it. I don't know.
I don't want it. I just don't want this. I don't want to buy this. So how am I going to see this 30-minute cut?
Borrow it from somebody who does want to buy it, I guess.
Oh my God. I just want to go watch all of Phase 2 of Marvel right now because it is.
Well, my recap, it's brutal, it's ugly, it's mean-spirited, incredibly pessimistic about our society and the way we view heroes nowadays. And our heroes themselves are very bullying and mean people, like Raymond said, that kill people and don't think twice about it. On the positive side, some nice visuals. I enjoyed the opening action scene. I liked Jeremy Irons a lot as Alfred, and also the score was pretty good, in my opinion.
What was the opening action scene? Where he kills the guy?
No, where he's driving around the Jeep.
Oh.
I was actually into the movie. I was like, maybe I'm wrong about this movie. Maybe it's going to be a great movie and people don't know what they're talking about. Because I really, really was enjoying that opening action scene, as ridiculous as it was. It was paced right for me.
Believe the critics.
All right, believe the critics. Man. Well, that sounds like justice has been served.
Oh, God. Justice ain't served yet. This was the dawn of it, sir. Beginning of the justice. We looking forward to more justice coming your way?
No,
No.
not really at all. It was just so mean and so ugly. It just...
You said that.
I know I got on you for that, but it's just, you can't reiterate that enough. It hurt me as an audience member, not actually being a character in the movie. Like, you just made me feel awful.
I got a question for you.
The movie made me feel awful, Raymond.
I wanted to ask you this because I remember when Man of Steel, you weren't too keen on, what's her name? How you feel about her in this movie now? Lois. What's Lois's real name?
Amy
Adams. How you feel about Amy Adams as Lois in this? Did it change anything for you? Did you think she was tougher or what?
She was a little bit better in this movie. She's still not the tough persona, but I just accepted her because she was already in another movie.
Copy.
And then they forced her to strip down naked for
the bathtub sequence.
For the bathtub sequence, I was like, "You didn't have to do that, Amy." And you
break out and dance and song.
Amy, you didn't have to do that.
Having a me party. Oh no, you just trying to tell Amy.
Amy, you didn't need to do that. At least tell them to put the bubbles in. don't take that kind of stuff. Maybe you're really proud of the sequence and you decided, man, I don't want bubbles. I just want to be floating out there.
I want to be floating.
I just want to be floating out there while I'm still young. Well, good for you if that's the case. If not, fight for those bubbles next time. That sounds like a bubbly note to end it on. For the Parking Lot Projectionists, I'm Andrew.
I'm Raymond. Shutting it down.
No bubble.
Something to say. This isn't justice. This is revenge.
Raymond.
Yes.
You want to go to war?
That son of a bitch brought the war to us.
If there's even a 1% chance.